I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Wake up, wake up, wake up. As you guys can see, we are in an undisclosed location, but I am John Graves III. This is my wife, Naomi, and we are the co-founders of Garage Gym Life. And we are here for another action-packed, okay, fun episode.
Action pack, ramble pack.
There you go. Yeah, definitely ramble pack. Episode, see, we already started. Episode of Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. I am here without pre-workout, but my lovely wife did make me some coffee, so we're gonna push through. And ironically, I'm saying this is the first time I've had coffee on the show, and it's ironic because we're selling coffee cups.
Which I happily use all the time.
Yeah, but I don't usually drink coffee before the show. But it is what it is. If this is your first time checking out the show, thank you for giving us a shot. Welcome. I think you guys are gonna have a very good time today. Let's roll out the welcome mat for you. Do me a favor though and hit the like and subscribe if you have not already done so, because that will help get the word out. We are pushing to a goal of 500,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So we can only do that with you guys' help.
Yes.
All right. I'm actually, it's crazy to me. Like when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, that's not really that far off if we just keep going at the current pace. And that is 100% because of you guys who like, subscribe, and who share the episode link with other people. So thank you so much for everything that you do. Now, normally this is when I bring Naomi on. I say, without further ado, or before we talk, let's go any further. Let me bring her in. But as you see, she's already here. But you know what? I want you to know that I can't be stopped. Okay. I'm like Jordan in his prime. You can just barely hope to contain me. And so as a result, I'm still playing the things. Okay. All right. Formalities must be observed.
Wow. That's all I can say is just wow.
Okay. So now, before we go to the live chat and see who's here, go ahead and Naomi, go ahead and tell us everybody what's on the menu for today's show.
Okay, so I don't have to look at it from all the way over here. So at 6:05 Eastern, we have news and other things with me. And what we'll go over is HomeGymCon 2027 tickets are already on sale. So if you haven't secured them, or if you want to get in on what others experienced this past year, now's the time to go ahead and secure those tickets. Hotel room blocks have not yet been updated, so we'll keep you posted when that happens. New brands have been added to the Shopify store also, so you want to check that out. And then chalk bags have been shipped to everyone that was there at the live show. Then at 6:45, we'll have Recliner of Rage, and John's mad again, and you'll find out why. It could be anything.
Here's a hint. No means no. Yep.
You know what? It is what it is. And then at 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central, founder Mario Rego, sorry, again, distance glasses and early morning.
Aren't the glasses supposed to fix that?
Well, you still have it a very tiny font
It's 12 point.
on a smaller screen.
I didn't make the screen.
Anywho, again, we ramble. So, founder of Force 6 Fitness joins the show to talk about his experience at HomeGymCon as a first-time attendee. And I saw so many that were there for the first time. So it was very interesting. So we get to hear what his thoughts are. And then at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, 6 a.m. Pacific, or I'm sorry, Mountain.
Yeah.
We have Jared Moon, founder of Garage Gym Athlete and End of 3 Fitness, joined the show to unpack some comments he made about HomeGymCon in an Instagram post and talk about his general impressions of where home fitness is heading. There you go.
All right. And we're going to close everything out as we usually do with what I learned this week.
Yes.
And then we're going to keep it rolling. So now, let's see here. before, let's see. All right, now it's time to go to the live chat and see what sort of slander Carlos may have posted in there about me, because I know he's here. And then also, and say hi to everybody else. Let's go. All right. All right, so here we are in the live chat here. So who's the first in the building? And first in the building was Letha.
1%.
Hey, 1% better every day.
Yeah.
So Letha says, happy Friday, friends. Whatever you do today, make sure you're becoming 1% better today than you were yesterday. Heck yeah. Well, I just noticed the administrative edit I need to make. There we go. We're going to do it right now. Because normally you're next to me, but on a different screen. Yes, that's going to bother me if I don't fix it.
You don't get rid of the third? Okay.
Yeah, that'd be unfortunate. You're definitely not my
Ooh.
third wife.
No.
That ain't happening.
No. No.
No, I'm not here for all that. All right, anyway, so there we go. See, here we go. Carlos, he said, I like a little garage and life in my coffee. Wait, what? Carlos.
Now, I'll tell you right
That's the
now.
most pause-worthy statement
When
I've
I
ever heard you make.
first saw that, I didn't have my glasses on, so I didn't see
That's another
all of
screen.
that. Because all I heard was
I wish I hadn't
say,
seen all that.
John said pause, and I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I was like, that's not what it said. And then I go back and look at the
Definitely is what it said.
That's what it says. Pause, definitely.
Come on, Carlos.
But good morning, Carlos.
Yeah. Get my video. Get my video right. Yeah, don't pause. All right. Anyway, Home Gym Games. What's up, Kevin? All right. So now, Kevin, this is Kevin's chance to get me back, because he says I'm gonna be up way too late. So I was harassing Kevin on his live stream yesterday when actually we were driving up here, and Naomi was listening to it, but I was watching since she was driving. I was like making comments, and since she was driving, she couldn't stop me, right? So I was putting like my comments on this feed on this stream.
I did tap him. I did
She
allow
tried.
him as
She
well as I
tried, but
could,
look,
I had to focus on the road.
I'm like Jordan, it's prime. You can't stop me. So
and people drive crazy. So
all I'm saying is, my man said deadlifting takes too long, and I'm watching him attaching buckles and straps and and items, and he said, "Okay, now I'm gonna magnetically connect my anchor to my Voltra and run it through the back of the thing just for one exercise." He said, "So I'm doing all this so I can do curls." I said, but deadlifting takes too long.
Kevin, you do what you gotta do to
Whatever.
get your workout in, get your grind on,
man.
buddy. Get your grind on.
Hey, man, you keep doing your seated pull-ups. Anyway, that's what he was doing. I'm just saying, he was doing seated pull-ups with all that.
Don't worry about him, Kevin.
Trevor said,
What's up,
let's go.
Trevor?
What's up, man? Hey, check your phone. I sent you a text message with the answer to what you asked me 2 days ago. I just got the answer. So check your text message, Trevor. Sean.
Morning, Sean.
Colonial Barbell Club. He says, I'm here for a good time and a long time. I'm gonna go ahead and put that comment next to Carlos's and say pause. It's a family show. All right. Caden and Haku are watching. Don't explain this part to Caden and Haku, Kevin. It's question of the day.
Jared's little ones also.
Theo and
I was gonna say Theo, and I couldn't remember the other one.
what's the other one? Jared, when you come on here, Jared, what's your other son's name?
Because again, it's a family show.
Yeah, they hugged me at HomeGymCon. So
There you go.
I think Theo hugged me first. That might be why I remember his name. It's not a competition. I'm just saying. Ashley. Ashley, what's up? Hey. Keep saying, if you don't say hey, we don't know it's really you. See, this is like the signal for if your account ever gets hacked. Ashley, I hope it doesn't happen to you. It's been happening to way too many. In fact, that's gonna be a news item. I just added that to the news items.
Okay.
All right. But we hope it doesn't happen. But one way we'll know is if you don't say hey. So I need you to verify that this is actually Ashley by saying hey like you normally do. Right?
It's a code.
That's it. If not, we don't know it's really you. So go right there. All right. Good morning, B.
Good morning. And also, I saw that there were tornadoes that
in
Chicago. And so I hope everybody was okay. It was a couple days ago, but as soon as I saw it on the news, I was just like automatically thought about you.
That makes sense because Rex, Indiana. So shout out. Well, not really shout out, but prayers for everybody who is in Indiana. Rex is out there, and he said that they had some really bad flooding. So I mean, Illinois and Indiana are close to each other. So hope everybody's doing well.
So I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, hope everybody's okay.
Oh, and it's Carlos's birthday.
Yep, you know what that means.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And we take, we
Yeah,
take
this
it.
Thursday. Yeah, there you go. All right. Don't say I never sang happy birthday. Actually, this is my second time. This is Naomi's first time. This is my second time singing happy birthday to Carlos.
There you go.
All right. I hope you have an enjoyable little day. See, because he ain't talking. He said, "Good morning, guys." Good morning. And see, I'll let that slide because it's your birthday.
Gonna party like it's your birthday.
Boo said, I guess he's talking to you because I ain't trying. It just happens naturally. So you need to stop trying to talk all sexy and junk. Like, hey.
Whatever. Morning, babe.
I'm just saying, it's when you got aura, you can't help it. I actually have to restrain it. It's difficult.
Really?
Yeah, really. Carlos just really put this picture of Nora picking up the phone. We've got your parents. Cake. By the way, Nora's name has an H on it. And this is a public service announcement to everyone.
Yeah, because if not, she'll correct you real quick.
Yeah, Nora's name is N-O. It's like Nora Jones.
Yeah.
We didn't name her after Nora Jones, but it's spelled just like Nora Jones.
And we had to educate her on who Nora Jones was.
And that was a sad day. I felt like a complete failure. But that was also an excuse to go into Nora Jones, like go through all of her discography. So we're going through her entire catalog right now because you're going to be educated. Anyway. Yes. Sean says, I got my chalk bag already. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Carp says, yep. Okay, there we go. Now we know it's official.
So what's funny is when we were heading up here last night, I said,
I'm undisclosed locations.
I was like,
we're about to disclose.
We're about to disclose. I was like, we'll be in carp zone here soon, so we're gonna be on the lookout to see if there's any stamps.
We technically drove through carp zone.
Okay.
We're not in carp zone. We drove through it.
We drove through it. Yeah. So if we see any random stamps that says, carp approved, we know that carp's been there.
Like, I want to know what, like, I'm expecting to go to your favorite gas station and see it there. Public service. It's a public service. I'm helping you help others. That's what we're doing. The Kurt Locker. What's up, Daddy? What's up, man? Hope that beard is doing well. Carlos said, okay, good. The video's going to be, all right, good. The people, got to give the people what they want. Give the people what they need. Our freedom of speech. It's freedom of that. And I'm stopping right there. Put in the chat if you know what song that's from. I know some of y'all are too young. You got to get permission slips from your parents to watch this show. But I want to know how many of y'all could know what song that is that I just quoted.
If we're family friendly, why do you need a permission slip?
Because all women got their parents with them. Caden and Haku and Theo and them, they have their parents with them. The rest of these people, I don't know where they. I don't know. I can't verify. It's like back in the day when we would go to the store. Like I never went with my parents, right? But I would go with my friends when they were going to the store to get liquor for their parents. Yeah. And as long as you had a note, you knew it was like, okay, yeah, you know this is for the parents. But if you just show up and ask for liquor, they're not gonna give it to you. It's the same situation.
The thing is you couldn't do it at I don't know how it was where you grew up, but in
7-Eleven.
Our neighborhood, you had to know, like the store owner knew, the parents knew.
My mom had this stuff. Well, actually, I would say most parents in our apartment complex had the 7-Eleven phone number because that's where we all hung out. They would call up there and the clerk would be like, hey, so-and-so, your mom says it's time to go home, right?
So we had the bodega, and then I don't even know if this car service is still in service, but Monchito was the name of the taxi service that my mom had the phone number.
Taxi service /
personal driver
/ baby ambulance.
Oh yeah, ambulance. Because
they ain't call an ambulance. They call this random dude to take him to the hospital.
So, like, if my sister's listening, yes, mommy called Manchito to take you to the ER. That was only a couple blocks away. Yes, Manchito took us.
When the turtle bit her on the face?
When the turtle bit her on the face. When she broke her arm on the place at the gym. not the gym, the park a few blocks away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that was back, that was back in the day when a neighborhood was like a neighborhood,
Yeah.
So
For those of you who are watching, if you've been watching, you understand this sort of tangent happens all
all
so
the time.
long. And if you have started watching for the first time,
We're sorry.
just this is what's going to be.
Buckle up.
It's like this during the first hour. Okay, we're
Yeah.
helping y'all get woke. Just wake up.
You have your coffee.
That's it.
It's one giant community.
Matthew Porter said,
Hey.
by the way, Matt, uh, I'm gonna go back and going forward from today forward and retroactively, every episode that you appear on of this show, I'm going to go back and designate it as a fundraiser for the American Diabetes Association. I just couldn't figure out how to do it before, but I was basically, my time just in the office, just in my little cave, Naomi, just editing videos and stuff. Yeah, and just like editing videos and stuff. I actually think I found out how to do it. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna
Awesome.
designate every single episode that Matthew was on is gonna be a fundraiser for the American Diabetes Association. So everyone where he was a guest,
Awesome.
and then I'm gonna do it going forward every time. All right. So what that means is, if you go back on previous episodes where Matthew was on,
Mhm.
and you do, I think it's the super thanks. So maybe it's a jewel. I'm still trying to figure out what jewels do. But if you go back and you do a super thanks on there, that money will go towards American Diabetes Association automatically. I won't have to like send it to them. And then don't do it now. I gotta be able to go back and
You
do
gotta go
it.
ahead and do
So give me a couple of days. But then every time Matthew comes on going forward, that episode will be a fundraiser for the American Diabetes Association. So if you guys do a super chat while it's live, the money automatically goes to diabetes research.
That is
Okay.
amazing.
And I'm just kicking myself because I didn't think of it before.
I didn't even know.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a cool thing that YouTube lets us do. Something I can't do on Instagram. So yeah, one more reason why I prefer YouTube to Instagram.
Awesome.
Now this is hilarious, but it's also possible. Carp said, I heard Carlos's Halloween costume is going to be a giant chalk bag.
I'm
The
picturing.
only correction is Carlos is only 3 apples high, so
Okay.
it's a regular size chalk bag. He just gets
Carlos, you see the space here? What you guys don't see when we're at our home base is I can't poke or anything like that. But now I got you.
Yeah, she's always like so there's a private chat with StreamYard. She's always like putting comments, stop doing that. Don't talk about that anymore. Just like,
Fix face.
let's see here. All right. Let's see here. I'm looking here. Oh, okay. So B answers. She said, thanks. Lots of folks lost power. Trees are down. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's I'm connecting because Rex said that they had flooding that was very, very bad, which could be part of the thing with this.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna find out about that.
Because like when there was the earthquakes that were in Japan, granted, Japan's a country. It's huge. I get it. But instantly I'm thinking
It was aggressive.
it is a country.
Yeah, but you said it's huge.
It is huge. Can you walk it?
Yeah, well, first of all, you're talking about me.
Yes.
Half man, half amazing. I can do it.
Yeah,
Half man, half amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave that right.
Let's talk about could a hypothetical person walk?
Anywho, like I said, heard like with the earthquakes and whatnot, of course, instantly I'm thinking, of Kevin and his family.
Yeah.
Our son is over there also right now. They also recently had earthquakes in Colombia. I reached out to a former colleague of mine just to check in on her and her family because all her family's there and they're all safe. So yes, you know, always make sure that you guys are safe, your family is safe. That's just how I function. So I'm glad to know that you guys are okay, B and Rex and everybody else that's up in that area.
Yeah. Vern.
Oh, that's right. Vern's in that area.
Vern's got a beard. He'll be fun.
Why? Because he looks like Noah now?
He,
And he's still single, by the way, ladies.
he mentioned that to us. I was like, dude, I said hi. He said, yeah, just want to let you know I'm still single. I'm like,
So yeah.
oh, okay. I'll spread the word.
We'll put his link to his,
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I'm not that invested. All right.
We got
Darren.
to a point.
Yeah. Jared said, I missed the start of the show. Good morning. So what you missed is we sang happy birthday to Carlos. But also, this is awkward. Tell me your kids' names again, because
So
we
we
know
got
Theo. What's your other son's name? All right, because we can't remember your other son's name. And I think your kids are awesome because they hugged me. I didn't see them hug anybody else. And so I want to know that I just want to give them a shout out. It's not a competition. I'm just saying they only hug me. Just saying.
Whatever.
And there you go. And Letha is a huge fan of Nora. They're actually talking on the phone now.
I just found that out. Like Nora told me, she goes,
this is
yeah. So
ridiculous.
I messaged Miss Letha, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you
It's
messaged her? She goes, oh yeah, we text, we call, we talk, and
I would say sorry, but Letha, you brought it on yourself.
yeah.
So everything you're going through currently is on you.
And I was going to warn you, she doesn't drive yet, but she thinks she's going to go ahead and get her permit by the time she's 15. So she'll have a license in Georgia by the time she's 16. And I don't know about letting her loose on the road. So you guys have plenty of time because she's 11 now. So that's 5 years in preparation, 4 years in preparation for
Well, she
permit.
comes to her kids in there.
Yeah, well, we got to start planning for that too.
I'm just setting aside money. That's my role. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving along. So I don't know why I didn't call Nora A. Look, so you do know how to spell it. There you go,
Yep.
Carlos. I figured the Nora Jones thing would be easy.
Well, what's so funny is because some of Nora's friends kind of joke around and call her Dora. So Nora, because she's
Okay.
like Nora the Explorer. Well, I already saw it.
Okay. Yes. Look, we're already on a tangent. Yes. Yes. Naomi's turtle. So who's
Well, it's
it?
Mommy's turtle.
You the one named, so you named your mother's turtle?
It was the classroom turtle.
Okay. So first of all,
I
hold on.
apologize.
Okay, first of all, no, I'm sure everybody wants to hear this. They do.
No,
I promise they want to hear this. So first of all, I want y'all to understand that Naomi just actually said her mother's classroom. Her mom was a teacher.
Yeah.
Her mother's classroom turtle,
Mhm.
which you named
Snapper Anna Jones.
Snapper Anna Jones. Okay, not Snapper Anna. Snapper Anna Jones.
Like Indiana Jones, Snapper Anna Jones was a snapper turtle. And also she knew how to, well, we don't know if it's
hold on. Let's pause the story for a second.
Could have been he.
Hold on. Her mother in Brooklyn in a classroom with children kept a snapping turtle. Continue.
Well, we didn't know it was that bad. It was a turtle. She got it from a pet store. Anywho.
Hold on. In New York, they sell snapping turtles to people. It wasn't a puppy, it was a turtle.
Right. And well,
Go ahead.
so also well,
I'm not interrupting anymore. Go ahead.
or was it a box turtle? It was a turtle. It was a turtle. Okay. But anywho, so we called it Snapper Anna Jones because she also knew how to, and it could have been a he. We didn't really know how to sex a turtle, but used to climb out. Yes, it's called sexing. Used to get out of the aquarium, the box, or whatever.
The turtle climb out the aquarium?
Yes. So made it a regular thing.
Spider turtle. Okay.
Well, we didn't call it a spider.
I didn't know about this part of the story, but go ahead.
But anyhow, so I do apologize.
No.
I apologize. So family was over one day, and the cousins liked seeing the turtle, so I brought the turtle, and like
So you stole the turtle from the school?
No, the turtle was home. You bring the turtle home on the weekend because no one's
Didn't y'all ride the subway?
Or the bus.
Or the bus. So you had a snapping turtle on the bus.
You have it in the aquarium. It's called City Life.
Go ahead. Just go on.
So anyhow, well, and also Mommy did drive. She just didn't like driving.
Okay.
But anyhow, so yeah, so took the turtle out because everybody wanted to see the turtle. And if you put the turtle close, it used to stick its head out and would bop you on the cheek. Well, did that with my cousins. Bop, 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 bop. Emily was the last one. Emily got bit.
And the turtle was hanging on her face. I remember the whole story.
Yeah. So
the turtle's hanging on her face. So then instead of calling the ambulance,
Manchito, it was faster.
They called this dude from around the way and said, hey, take me. I need you to take me and my kids, one of whom has a turtle hanging on her face.
Well, we didn't say that part. We're just like, we need
it'll be a surprise. When he gets here, he'll find out.
Well,
did he drink?
I don't know.
Did he start drinking after he showed up and saw a turtle hanging on your sister's face?
So we had adventures growing up as a kid.
Okay. All right. And there you go. That's the turtle story from Naomi's past. All right.
And again, I apologize. I apologize.
Carlos said he's gonna go as a normal person for Halloween. Okay.
You know what? What's funny? So with Carlos doing all of his cosplay and everything else, that would actually be a good costume as a normal person.
Yeah. That's it. He just goes to the theater,
Just like
dresses as a
himself.
regular person.
Yep,
They'll be
just
like,
a
"What's
regular
your
patron.
oh, well." They'll be like, "I can't figure out who you're supposed to be."
Me.
That's wrong, Carlos. I do cardio on the treadmill. I don't like cardio on the bike.
No,
I do not like bike seats. Ain't none of that. Let's see here.
he's tried it a couple times.
And both, and well, it's more than two. I didn't like it. I don't like it. Um, I also, Trevor says, I also teach kids to hug strange people. That's why they hug me. That's how you get on the watch list. It's exactly how you get on the watch list.
Sorry.
Lita says, I love that girl. I'm telling you, they like bonded for real.
And she's a talker. Oof.
Yeah, it's like having Nora around is very restful because it's like turn on the podcast. You don't have to really participate. You just got to listen. I love it. See, I told you, Carlos wanted to hear the story of Snapper Anna Jones.
Snapper Anna
Yeah,
Jones,
there you
yeah.
go. And there's Kevin. He said, I told John this morning to tell you your adobo will be waiting as usual, but he's got more band to the barbecue. Hey, look, man,
There we go.
you and your half naked leg curls on your balcony, you go right ahead. I'm not here to tell you. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. Your neighbors are here to tell you how they live. But I'm not. I don't live over there. Um, oh, okay, dang. That's a good point. You didn't name the turtle Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, or Raphael. Oxford comma is a bit of a mess.
Well, the thing is this, at the time, I don't think Ninja Turtles was out yet when we had Snapper Anna Jones.
Okay.
I mean, if we had a little later as a teenager, because I wasn't a teenager yet, or at least preteen.
Okay.
So
All right, so here we go.
what? That's it.
Theo, Wyatt, yes, Wyatt. Theo,
Wyatt.
Wyatt, and Tanner in that order.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so here we go. Theo, Wyatt, and Tanner. I got it now. Thank you, man. So shout out to Theo, shout out to Wyatt, and shout out to Tanner. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for
and
watching.
Too, did I not?
Mm,
Think
mm,
they were,
no, I'm not in that district. I don't know.
I think that was something we had discussed. They were going to be back, going to start school and
Uh,
whatnot.
Thursday. There's a lot more turtle-related conversation than I anticipated.
The shell can scale the tip.
The, the friendly neighborhood snapper at it. Okay.
Yes.
Boo wants to know if this turtle was riding the Australian current when you snatched him out of his
No.
natural habitat.
No.
What is this turtle? I did not anticipate this. Ashley said I had a pet baby snapping turtle named Snappy Sand.
There you go.
What is this
Now,
turtle
also,
conversation?
so, but remember we had, so Brad's sons, remember they got into the whole turtle,
Oh, turtling. They call it
turtling?
turtling.
Yeah.
They would go catch turtles and sell them,
and they were like an expert.
apparently illegally.
Now it's illegal. Or I don't
It
know.
was illegal then. It was
Okay,
illegal.
then we're gonna stop that part of the
No,
conversation.
they could no. Okay, they were allowed to catch them, but then when they started selling them, that's when it became illegal. And then somebody tried to buy one and take it back to Alabama, which is crossing state lines. So I said, y'all gonna do Fed time on this turtle.
We learned
I'm not
a
involved.
whole lot
I ain't
about
involved.
turtling.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with noodling.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
We don't do that.
We use hooks over here. So we're so off the. I'm telling you, none of this has anything to do with. I did not want to do this. I want to talk about gym. Look, you see my room. Look, see that Shopify store, HomeGymCon. That was
We haven't even started on. Sorry,
it's amazing. That's all this. Okay, anyway,
but we're still in the live chat.
there you go. Hey, hello, John and Naomi. It's Kevin's wife. Our kids are big fans of you too. I'm a huge fan of them. Every time I see them, like when they message and say goodnight to us and stuff, I just love it. So thank you so much. That's
And their
it.
little voice. Their little voice.
They're so awesome. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching the kids while Kevin was doing his live stream last night, talking about whatever he's talking about.
Oh, that's funny. You need to put that one up.
The question is not can he walk, but can he run it with that duck backpack on? Hey, I'm just gonna tell you, that's Waddle. That athletic, is athletic. I'm just gonna tell you again, there were people who had trained for months for that race. I didn't train at all, and I passed them. So let's just keep them.
Taking out small dogs, little kids, elderly people on walkers with a single run.
Turtle power. I'm just.
Turtle power, really?
Hey, I've actually had turtle soup. Carp said my grandfather used to make snapping turtle soup.
Boom.
Yes.
I was carrying Joaquin.
Yes, we were at
And his
Boo's
friend
house, and
came in and was like, oh, and I was hungry.
yeah, he said, "What's this?" And he gave you some. He said, "Oh, it's beefy. It's beefy."
I was like,
Said,
it's like,
"What is it? It's turtle."
spat that out so fast.
I liked it. Tastes good.
That. And there I said I was not going to eat a Ninja Turtle. Sorry. Nope.
How about YouTube? Yeah, I heard about that. YouTube doubled the watch hours to 8K if you want to be monetized. I try to tell y'all, y'all need to step up your game because times are changing. But this is just one thing. So if you want to become monetized, you instead of 4,000 watch hours, you now have to have 8,000. So everybody who's on the threshold, you kind of like just hanging on, it's going to double. It hasn't doubled yet, but it's going to double. So y'all better jump on it.
Good
Matt
morning.
Tattoo Saying says, "Good morning, USA. What's up, man? Representing the UK. What's up, man?" Carlos wants a framed photo of the backpack meme. You ain't gonna get that. There's only one in existence, and it is in my office. Hey, don't listen to that. Don't. You're making promises you can't keep.
Whatever.
Promises, don't eat, no sleep.
Get back on the.
I see you, Mario. Okay. Actually, I do not see you backstage. So if you say you're up and you're on standby, I do not see you. So let me make sure that if you don't have a link, let me go ahead and send it to you again. Let me make here. As you said something. So take a public second for a public service announcement. I'm sending the link to Mario again. There. Email's gonna be eloquently titled link. Yes, this is Mario is a fairly important component of the show, so we gotta make sure he got the stuff he needs. All right. He said he's on standby, but we don't see him, so I don't know where he's standing. So I need to make sure you're standing by in the right spot.
What corner are you on?
I'm like, hey,
we gotta pick you up.
this dude's okay. Here we go. Kevin said, "Here we go. Deadlifting takes too long. Yes, all of the setup I did will still be shorter than one warm-up set on a barbell. To be fair, I wasn't demonstrating how to save time." So the last sentence in that phrase, little paragraph is correct. You were not demonstrating how to save time, which is seated pull-ups. But all the setup you did will still be shorter than one. I don't know. I think you need to work on your bar speed, home. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever.
Oh, okay. Wait, maybe I shouldn't have clicked on that. By hook or crook, I hit 1,000 subs for February 1st. By hook or crook. I'm not affiliated. We are not affiliated as Garage and Life with anything underhanded Sean might do. Okay, get out of here. But I support your ability, your right to do it.
Yep.
Show me a pro doing deadlifts. I'll show you 10 doing seated single arm pull downs. Look how long that is. The name of that exercise.
You guys.
You show you a pro doing deadlifts.
I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Kevin.
Just with bodybuilders alone, I'll start with Robbie Robinson, who's still deadlifting in his I think he's in his 80s. He's still deadlifting. I mean, this is not a battle that you're prepared to fight.
No, what?
So did 30 people get the Fed squat stand? It looked like it. I got the email, but
the Fed squat.
It's Fed Fitness. They sent us an email. They're in the inbox.
Gotcha.
It's Trevor said Mario's with the turtles. No, we can't have that. Yeah. All right. Anyway, it is so we got officially 15 minutes. No, we got 10 minutes to do everything on here, which is okay.
It's okay. All right.
All right. So shout out to everybody who places orders at garagemanlifemedia.com. The website is how we support the show. And it's interesting because I saw a comment last week. I want to say that we were the first ones. I'm not saying we're the only ones, but we're the first ones to post a video with Gentleman Fitness Club as a booth tour, right? And some of the comments in that people were making, one person said something that kind of reflects what people think. It said basically that content creators are just, they only do booth tours and cover stuff that they're paid to do. And that's a big part of why we switched to using the Shopify store as our main funding source, because we don't want you guys to lose trust in us, right? We don't want you to think that we're recommending stuff. I don't think you guys, those of you who know us, didn't think this before, but we don't want anybody thinking that we're recommending stuff just because we got paid to recommend it. So the Shopify store is legitimately how we fund our business and how we're able to make all this stuff happen. And you guys saw our cameras. Those of you who were at the live show, we need new cameras. So yeah, we appreciate all your support, all you guys who have checked it out. We actually updated it, so it looks a whole lot better. So you guys go ahead and check out garageandlifemedia.com. It's got a bunch of cool stuff in there. We actually added some new brands to it. And I can go ahead and I'll show that after we do the question of the day.
And I do want to go ahead and shout out for Ashley, because it was actually Ashley's question that, as kind of exploring on the shop, helped figure out areas in which to tweak. And so that was where John was able to go back and get some updates on the site too. So thanks again.
Trevor, I don't hate the floppy bacon crowd. I just don't understand y'all. And as far as black, he said because we only have black shirts available. Okay. Here, let me just say this. You see what color shirt I have?
We'll get the charcoal gray.
Listen. So this is my default color, black with a splash of red. Okay, see that's for color. That's an accent. Okay, but I prefer black shirts. And then I have Naomi can vouch for this. My drawer is divided into my black t-shirts, my t-shirts, and then like a little pile for shirts other colors other than black.
Yeah.
Gray is technically a shade, but still, I have black. And then when I can't wear black, I'll wear gray. And then other colors as necessary, like St. Patrick's Day, things like that. So special occasions. All right. And so I created the t-shirt list based off of starting with black. And then what happened is people on Team Crispy Bacon asked for more colors. So I listened to them. I said, what colors y'all want? And I added those colors. So all Team Floppy Bacon has to do is say, hey, we'd like more colors. There you go.
We'll like more colors.
Okay, I'll get you more colors. And now I'll respond with, which colors would you like? Gray. That's the answer that's the answer I get. It was like crickets and radio silence.
I just responded.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Got a super chat. Hey, Carlos said the camera's fine. Dang, did that bad? My man said immediately, hey, do something about this. Shout out to Carlos for the $20 super chat. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, dude. And I promise you, it goes straight towards cameras. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's see. Moving on. Bacon glass.
No.
Oh, here we go. Okay, crispy bacon has a crispy green color. Hey, I'm telling you. I'm just saying. They asked for it, so I'm not attacking you. I'm just explaining.
Trevor, it's okay.
I'm explaining that
makes fun of me with the way I make the
bacon all folded over. You can wrap. Bacon shouldn't be able to be wrapped like a taco.
I don't believe in personal injury bacon.
You believe in that?
No, personal injury bacon is not allowed on my
trichinosis. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let's see here. Anyway, so that was not really the most ideal commercial for our store, but that's what you get.
But it's on brand.
That's right.
It is on brand.
100%. All right. Anyway, so question of the day, and this one actually came from Sean. He said, what was the first thought that ran through your mind when you stepped into HomeGymCon this year? So comment with your answer. I want to know that. Hey, here we go. We just got another super chat. Shout out to Carp. Right there. Carp said new camera approved. Ain't that $900? Like, look, y'all need help. I saw it. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate the super chat, Carp. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Man, we're not kidding. We really do need new cameras. That's like the top is broken.
But that's, the funny thing is, it's been through war because it still keeps on going.
Those cameras legitimately went through COVID.
Yeah.
Because we had them before COVID. They went through COVID with us.
Yep.
And they're still working.
They're
The
still-
ones we bought during COVID are the ones that act sometime.
Yeah, one's still on the timeout shelf.
Yeah, we're mad at that one. But what was the first thought that ran through your mind when you stepped in HomeGymCon this year? Comment with your answer. So Naomi, I'll start with you, and then we'll go to the answers to the questions of
Well,
the day.
again, I try. So from first HomeGymCon to now, it's watching it. I keep using the term quantum leap. It's just exploding. And I have missed year two, due to having to be for cheer
Nora had a cheer competition.
cheer competition.
She's in the championships.
Yeah, regional. No, national. It was nationals. It was in Pensacola. It was a while.
When I'm right, I'm right. Even if I'm wrong, I could have been right, so I'm right. So I might have been wrong.
Anywho, so when compare from first year to year three, mind blown. And even then, for year three, we didn't have or I say we, I get to mine. There was another trade show going on the other side of the wall. This year, having the entire floor available for HomeGymCon was wow. I mean, it has the potential of getting close to like like I would kind of compare it like how the Olympia is,
I think it's gonna be bigger than the Olympics.
but it'll be definitely bigger than the Olympia. Good. It may even get up to the point where it's the Arnold, and being like, because like the Arnold is, for like nutrition, and I mean you have clothing brands and you have the sporting events, you have all different types of sporting events that happen at the Arnold. If you've been there, then you know what I mean. If you haven't been, you gotta experience it at least once. Be prepared for claustrophobia on a Saturday.
Be comfortable with crowds.
Be comfortable with crowds, and if you go on a Sunday, bring an extra bag because you're going to get lots of samples because they want to give that stuff away. But
You'll be so caffeinated that day because everybody's handing you a shot of pre-workout as you walk by.
He didn't sleep for like 24 hours.
That's a deadly mix. That's a deadly mix.
But it was good to see. Also, the thing that also stood out for me was the fact that so many brands brought prototypes for home gym owners to try and give feedback. Like, think about it. The brands have finally have heard the fact that we know what we want, and we don't want just the cheapy stuff. We don't want to be pacified. We actually know we want quality. We know what we're looking for. We know what the expectations are, and they want to hear from us. And there were prototypes that they said, may not go out for, distribution based off of the feedback from the consumers.
Speedy specifically said that. I think Rick said it as well.
Same thing with Bells of Steel.
Yep.
In fact, Kevon said it during the live stream. So on the show.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
It's what I thought it was going to be. And that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to have Mario on, because Mario comes from the automotive industry. So one of my questions is, how did HomeGymCon, because it was his first year attending, how did HomeGymCon compare to the trade shows you've been to in the, like, I assume he's been to SEMA and even like the auto show I went to where I first saw the Ford Wrangler. I forgot what it's called, but it was like down here in Atlanta. And I'm curious to see how he sees it compared to that.
I like what Linda said. It is like a family reunion. It's so good to see.
I don't remember what the first thing was that I thought when we walked in there, because we walked in the night before, and or I walked in by myself because I was looking for.
I was trying not to get towed.
Yeah, I walked in, so I just
or ticketed.
I think it was more like just a general impression. Wow, this is busy. Like, there's a lot of people in here, and they're all working hard to get things ready. Like, so I didn't really have but walking in when it actually was like open for business, was, I think the first thing I thought was just wow.
Yeah.
Because I immediately, you know what? Yeah, it was because I did what you did. I compared it to that first year in French Lick.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was wild.
I mean, I've told Jarrett that it's
Jake.
Oh, Jake. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep saying Jarrett. You look like a Jarrett to me, but Jake. I know the first, I think the last time we were at HFA in San Diego, and I was like, I'm just so.
We saw Jake at HFA, and she told him.
I was like, just so how the growth,
Yeah.
the potential. So proud, so proud. I
Yeah.
mean, it's beyond,
Yeah.
beyond. So
Let's see here. Trevor said the first thing that he thought is, I get to see all of my friends again. That is huge because also that's the same thing that Letha said. She said, I get to see all of my people. It's a family reunion. And I think that's something that people who have never been to HomeGymCon or who attend the first time and who kind of I don't want to say they have like if you so yes, going there to see the products is cool, but if you don't come out of your shell, you're gonna miss the real value of HomeGymCon. You can literally just say hi to anybody and just start talking about any product. So I'm telling all 10,000 of you who are watching, you can literally say, go to HomeGymCon, say hi to anybody and just start talking about, in fact, don't even say hi, just start talking about a product. They will talk to you and and 10 minutes into that conversation, you'll realize you found your tribe. That's just the absolute, and then you'll want to come back every year.
also, you have to be able to see Ashton's outfit because you'll never know.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
He's very patriotic.
Very patriotic.
And then he convinced other, and they get Jameson in the patriotic tank top. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
Sean said, I was in awe. Not only am I in this room that's almost wall-to-wall gym equipment, I was going to meet people I've been chatting with in person. I was nervous, eager, and elated. And yeah, so a lot of us lean introverted, right? But it's not like that when we see each other because we're like, I actually can't talk to these people. They're not going to shut me down when I start talking about my gym.
Right.
Like their eyes aren't going to glaze over like, okay, it's like you literally will realize you found your tribe.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. Carp said, yeah, I thought, wow, even small booths like Makolo came back big and impressive. I think Makolo had the biggest improvement out of it. Wasn't the biggest booth, but it was the biggest improvement from one year to the next.
Exactly.
Out of all the booths. And I was really, really, in fact, I told him that. So it's 10 times better than what you guys had last year.
Yes.
And Sean said, I was folded into this group with my media peers, which was my favorite moment. It's hey, look, man, we're all just people trying to figure it out together. So I'm glad for all your input. In the even the Jay and Silent Bob references. It's hilarious. All right, quick recliner of rage. Let's do this right now. We ain't skipping it, and you can stay. Yeah,
I'm just curious what the recliner rate is going to be this time.
Well, wait no longer.
It's the recliner of rage. It's the recliner of rage, 'cause he's not happy.
Okay, so today's recliner of rage is dedicated to this one brand that just can't seem to understand that when I say we are not signing an agreement to be exclusive with your brand, see, you remember now? So first they wanted 2 months, right? And so without mentioning the brand's name, they want us to fly to their location. That's fine. They're gonna pay us to fly to their location. We still have to. Go to their location, shoot the video. Great, we can do that. We've got like 2 or 3 offers to fly to different locations from 3 different brands. So that's interesting. But anyway, the point is this one brand wants us to fly to their location, shoot the video at their location. I'm fine with all of that. They're going to pay us to do it. The problem is they want us to be exclusive to that brand for at first it was 2 months. I can't do that because one of their competitors is is in actually multiple competitors of theirs are in our Shopify store. So if we were exclusive with them, that would mean we couldn't promote our own store.
Right.
The point of our store is to not compete with anyone, but that means that we can't say that we're exclusive to you, because if we say we're exclusive to you, we can't promote our own store.
Right.
Also, y'all realize it's August, right? So they came back and said, well, since you didn't want to do 2 months, how about if we give you slightly less money and we have you be exclusive with us for 3 months? So the first couple of times I explained, okay, this is why we can't do it. This is why we can't do it. Now they about to get It's just another part of me. That's what you're about to get, like Michael Jackson. Okay, you're about to get the other side of
It's
it.
the exclusive part
I
that,
can't. Yes, we can't do
and
it.
especially with the brands that we partnered with, like with
So I got to break my word to
with
all of
everything.
them to make you happy. And let's say I was willing to do all of that. Just think about this. Those of you who are content creators, you're going to understand this. They want us to not promote any other brand but them,
Right.
which means no telling anybody about sales, no talking about anything. And it's going to be for 3 months. So we would be doing the project at the end of this month. Now, do some mathematics. What comes up in 3 months?
Black Friday.
Black Friday and holiday shopping season.
That's all.
So we're not allowed to talk about any other brands during holiday season except theirs. Yeah. And I'm gonna just tell you, this isn't a brand that's like top of mind for y'all. Um, I had to Google them to find out where they even were and to make sure they were a legitimate brand. So you want me to promote just your obscure little enterprise and ignore. We even have a show right in the middle of that. We have the Black Friday show where we bring brands on to talk about their products.
Yeah.
And that would be out the window. So you're going to destroy all of our programming, annual programming. You're going to remove our ability to promote our own Shopify store, which is our primary source of funding for the show, for our channel. And we got to make everybody that we've had built relationships with for the past, well, it's 10 years now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the past 10 years, we got to break all those relationships just for the sake of this gadget. It's not a gadget. It's a piece of equipment,
Yeah.
but whatever, for the sake of this thing that you want to send us.
I think the fact that they use
No means no.
the use of exclusive, and that, it's like just their product, it's kind of like, I don't know. Nope. Because again, like you said, with the holiday, um,
True.
so with the holidays and with Black Friday, Christmas, I mean, going straight into the holiday season, it's not. And so when you're like, I was like, I didn't know what your recliner rate was going to be. So as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, here we go.
See, I'm telling you, my rage is justified. Well,
Because-
first of all, my rage is always justified. I'm fighting a lone battle against injustice. But anyway, what? I'm fighting a lone battle against injustice. You know what? Mario's with me. Mario's with me, right? You understand why he's nodding his head. There you go. There's two of us. That's it. Good enough.
Okay.
Two can hold off an army. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Carp said going into Black Friday blackball. I'm telling you, you imagine what that,
Yeah.
like, seriously?
Nope.
Who said? I mean, Carp said they better be throwing out some huge numbers. They
They're not.
offered, so they asked us like what it will cost. Just to show you how I'm serious about this. They asked us what it would cost for us to agree to be exclusive. And I was like, you can't give me a big enough amount of money for me to be exclusive because that would require basically now we would just work for them.
Right.
And I want to say it's not that I think being exclusive is a bad idea. I think that's actually a fantastic idea for certain content creators, depending on what your model is, right?
Correct.
If you're just doing product reviews and you have a brand that you happen to like,
Right.
just promote just that brand.
Right.
Right. I think there's, in fact, it's like Home Gym Hacks and Reviews. He tends to only promote power tech. I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
Right. I don't have a single problem with that. But that's not what we do. So don't just look at, I mean, this sort of foolishness. I knew would happen as we started to grow. But I'm just saying, look, no means no. It's one thing when you don't understand, but
Well, so I knew
you're
something.
about to understand.
I knew something was going on because I had walked past the office. I was either getting something from our room or getting something from the room, coming back to my office. But needless to say, I was in the hallway, and all I hear is, "Naomi, oh." And he's like, "Listen to this." And I'm like, "What happened?" He goes, "I just." And so when he starts to sputter, I was like, "Okay." And so I have one of my old office chairs in the corner, on the other corner of the room. So I go and I sit down, and I'm like, "Okay." So he reads the email, and so that's the other thing, is that we need to have a dramatic reading for him when emails. because he'll start doing like proofreading as he's reading the email, and he'll like like the da Oxford comma
Do Oxford comma.
and then he also puts like his little color commentary in between. So he'll start to read the.
If we're in person, I'm happy to do it. I just can't. Sometimes it's like got brand information or whatever. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy to. But one day we'll do a dramatic reading. I'll change the names to protect the guilty.
To protect the innocent.
The guilty.
Innocent.
Guilty. They did the job. I know they did. I saw it. Trevor said it's the exact reason I told those people who called me to buy my house 3 times what it's worth. Hey, you called me, not the other way. That's what I'm saying.
I tell them, I said, you can have the house fully furnished.
$1
No,
million.
$2 million.
Oh, that's right. Inflation. That's right.
$2 million. We've got Mystique, we have Nora, we have Mommy, and you're getting the furniture? Nah.
Oh, yeah.
$2 million.
Yeah, that's true. Carlos said we made it because they're trying to get us to sell out. That's the clue. We made it. Okay. Boo said I'm not showing enough rage. That's because I'm not trying to wake Daddy up. I ain't trying to wake Daddy up. He come in here and
he'll be very concerned.
He's already mad because we got here late. Let's see here.
I see Sean's comment.
Yeah. Carp said I don't want to be expressive either, but if they want to give me 3 tons of value in my house, then I'll be exclusive for 2 months. Nah, because I'm looking again. It's like it'd be different if you're giving me enough, so I can just say, okay, well, I'm just retired from doing. I can just, but now what's the ripple effect?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Ashley. She always says, create the ripple. Mm-hmm. What's the ripple effect 2 years from now if I agree to this thing that you're asking me to do? Right. And I always have to put that in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that doesn't mean you have to promote this stuff. You can just make one video, wait 2 months, and then keep making content in the background, release it all after the 2-month period. Yeah, except my Black Friday show, first of all, it's a live show.
Right.
So I can't, that wouldn't work for me. So yeah. I mean, look, any of y'all that want to do it, you let me know. And I will happily pass on I promise you, I will gleefully, I'll be smiling while I type it. Your email information to them, and y'all can do it. But I just ain't gonna do it. Anyway, so we're getting ready to add Mario to the stage. So if you guys
it was great to see his kids at the show, the live show.
Oh heck yeah, those kids are awesome. They had me doing what's the name of that thing I jumped over?
You're talking about the Skip It? I know
that's
that's not the brand name now. That was the name of the original.
Yeah.
So was the Skip It.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. It came from the ropeless jump rope people.
Yeah.
Right, but they gave it to I said, okay, and Naomi was like, oh, I've seen that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so those of you who weren't at the live show, because we had internet issues, you didn't get to see me demonstrate the modern version of the Skip It.
I did look up.
I showed my athleticism. So
just in case.
Hey, I'm an athlete. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, but like I said, you guys make sure that you are following my lovely wife. She's got some more content she's gonna be putting on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe to Naomi Greaves on YouTube, and go ahead and follow Naomi Harris Greaves on Instagram. You get to see her most recent video. She's bench pressing with her favorite barbell. All right. And in fact, that's what I'll start doing. I'll put when I edit your videos in the clips and whatever, your workout vlogs, when you put those clips on your Instagram.
That'll work.
So there you go. All right. Okay. And now I ain't gonna change nothing. I'm just gonna talk to Mario. We just gonna ain't no telling what's about to happen. So there we go.
We'll go log into work.
All right. See. All right. While we do that, let's go ahead and do a quick commercial, and then we'll be right back and bring add my man Mario to the stage. And I promise I know where it is. There it is. All right, ready?
Hey guys, one of the things that we are big believers in here at Garage Gym Life is that your home gym should be the best gym in town for you. And that includes personalizing it. So every time you walk in there, you are proud of it and motivated to get your workouts in. And that includes adding little personal touches that set your home gym apart from everything else. Here's an example of what I mean. When we were first setting up our home gym and we were looking for ways to get stuff off the floor, we went ahead and got these flexible hanging solutions that we found on Amazon, and we use it all over the gym to hang up various things. But now we're ready for an upgrade. And so what I'm gonna do is replace this very basic hanging solution with these muscle arm wall hooks that I found. Less than a minute to install, and that looks 100% 100% better. If you want the muscle arm wall hooks for your home gym, go ahead and click that shopping button, grab them from the Garage Gym Life store, and then let us know how you like them once you get them installed in your home gym.
Right, I'm telling you, I would literally have those things all over the house. I try to put one in the bathroom. Naomi stopped me, but we're not giving up because we're not quitters over here. We're gonna, because eventually she's gonna go on a work trip, and when she comes back, it's gonna be installed in the bathroom. Anyway, shout out to the Central Time Zone. Thank you guys for getting up way too early with Garage. Like there are 11,025 of you guys watching right now. Do me a favor and don't just watch the show. I need you guys to help me out. And by hitting the like and subscribe button, get the algorithm working to let YouTube know that you want to see more of this kind of content. And then also it's going to help us out because it's going to get the word out about what we do over here at Garage Gym Life, which includes getting you up front and center with some of the decision makers who make the home gym community possible. All right. Things like HomeGymCon. Thank you. HomeGymCon and all the equipment that we actually use to, pursue our fitness goals at home wouldn't be possible without these brands. And I like to get the brand owners in front of you guys so you can ask them questions about why they made this product this way, give them your suggestions for tweaking products, tell them that you love the product, because they don't get enough credit for the hard work they do in putting these things together. And today we got a unique opportunity because we just had HomeGymCon and we also just had a brand owner attend HomeGymCon for the first time. So this is going to be my first chance to have a brand owner on who was attending HomeGymCon for the first time. And I cannot wait to hear his reactions to it. You guys, please give a warm welcome to my guy, Mario Rego. Mario, come on. What's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, dude, that commercial, I liked that, the color grading, and it was good. I liked it.
I appreciate it, man. I told you, that's like so this is kind of like a little bit of a random tangent, but I think it'll help the content creators who are watching. After you told me that you would prefer UGC, in terms of, like what you do with content creators as projects and stuff, I started working on how I shoot the videos and how I set up the settings on, well, I'm using Osmo Pocket 3 right now. So I started working on how I set it, like the white balance and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what I'm going to do for the products that we have from you that are in the house. So I've got some B-roll shot for that tricep flat bar. And I'm going to go ahead and, but I'm going to put that commercial together as well. So it's going to be kind of like that style. So I appreciate you letting me know that that's what you're looking for. Now, let's go ahead. And so you heard all this stuff, we were talking about with the product, and I still can't remember what the product was called, what the product is actually called. But
Skip it.
yeah, it's like the skip it. And then my brother said it was like a lemon something. But I didn't play with it when I was growing up. So so I'm from West Africa, right? For those who don't know, we didn't have that thing in West Africa, right? We didn't do that. So when I came over here, and even when I came over when I was 7, I guess I just kind of missed the window when that thing was available. We just didn't have it. And also we lived in an apartment, so my mom wasn't going to try to give me extra reasons to jump. We're on the 2nd floor.
Yeah, that came out right after Super Soaker. You missed the really good 90s heyday of toy releases.
Oh yeah, I was in college. I was in college by that time. By the 90s, I was in college. I graduated high school in 1990. But it's funny. So I say that to say that the first time I ever used it, I was 52. I was 52 years old because we got it. And then I was like, oh, skip it. So she's playing with it. And I'm like, what is this? What's going on? How do you even use this thing, right? Because first of all, we got it and it was in 3 pieces. So so now think about it. I'm looking at these things. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Right. So she showed me how to put it together. And I said, and after it's put together, now I've got a hoop and a wheel. And I'm like, and I'm holding it up like a fish. I'm like, looking at it like a trout, like, okay, I still don't know what I'm supposed to do with this.
That's funny.
So she showed me. So I used it a little bit. And then when I demonstrated it, at the show, the in-person show at HomeGymCon, that's when that was like maybe my fifth time using it. And I was just like, okay, I'll demonstrate it or whatever. So I mean, I can see the point of it now, and I can see how it would have been fun for us. Is your son liking it?
Yeah, it's pretty clever how it unclips in each section,
Yeah,
so you can change it. And
yeah, yeah. I think you can make it longer because yeah, that's what when I gave you guys the thing, you've got the option for a longer cable. I guess it's a cable.
is that
Yeah, so you
company
can
still
swap it out.
in business?
So skip it, no.
No,
But this company is the same. They're the same company that makes the ropeless jump ropes. They're a ropeless jump rope company, and
okay,
they added this to. I want to say it's Crossropes. So the company's Crossropes, but I just don't know what that specific product is called.
right, right.
Um, you're gonna make me look it up now because now I'm curious.
It might as well name drop them.
Yeah, heck yeah. I got no. Yeah, I'm pulling up their website right now. But while I'm looking that up, go ahead. I want to know from you. Um, this is actually one of the. It's probably. I was talking to Jake yesterday, and side note, Jake, that noise you heard was me almost falling because I forgot I had turned the treadmill on when I went and I took his call, and I got off the treadmill, took his call, and I was coming back, and I forgot I had already turned the treadmill on. I thought it was still off, and I just like walked. So the treadmill's like this, and I'm walking this way to it, and I'm gonna step on and then turn this way. Well, the treadmill's already going.
Yeah,
So I went on, stepped on it, my foot went that way. So I had to catch myself while
that's
talking to Jake. I
funny.
said, yeah, man. So I think that the thing is that, yeah, that home gym con is. So that was me almost dying, Jake, if you heard the noise. Yeah, anyway. So, but when I was talking to him, he and I both agreed that this is like a fascinating question. So, you specifically have a lot going on. You're moving, you're manufacturing from China to the US. You've done
Uh,
all the manufacturing yourself. You've got a ton of new machines that you're having to move in yourself. You got a building that you're doing. There's a lot happening.
there is.
Take time away from, yeah, so for you to take time away from all that to go to Home Gym Con means essentially a day of lost revenue. What was the tipping point that got you to say, you know what, I need to go to Home Gym Con this year, even though you didn't have a booth, just the fact that you were going to attend it all. I mean, I know I invited you to the live show, but you had already said you were going.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what was it that made you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to attend Home Gym Con this year?
It's I talk to everybody. I talk to you online. I talk to this person, that person online, but it's completely different than meeting them in person, right? It's
Mm.
it breaks the ice of actually knowing a person, you know? It's like um like those TV shows, how they go online and try to find women and they date and talk online, but they don't even never met each other. They eventually
Yeah,
have to meet, and once
right.
that meets, then you really form that connection or bond or whatever you want to call it with the person. And and the gym space is really like, I call it like high school. It seems like there's cliques and sections and people clump together and battle against other products. Like there's a Voltra, it's like I call it Ford versus Chevy culture,
Yeah,
that the Voltras people are attacking the Expedience people when they already own the Voltra. Like, so who cares? Why are you even bitching about it? You already own the Voltra. So
yeah,
uh, I wanted to go talk to the people that maybe I feel like are in certain cultures or not. But I came to find out once you meet them in person, it's not even like that. Uh, you
yeah.
know, the
It's
support they have
completely
for
different.
me, even though they don't tell me online, they tell me in person. And I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. So it just in that in general, it's worth going.
So we're gonna break that trend right now. You said people don't tell you online, so right there, boom. Jared says, "Big Mario, great to meet him at Home Gym Con."
Yeah,
He's not the only one. Sean said it was a pleasure meeting Mario at Home Gym Con,
I appreciate
and
it.
so yeah, Ashley says cross rope jump rope, yes, and she said cross rope jump rope now has an adult skip it. That doesn't sound good, but yes, has an adult skip it, and They call it the spin jumper. And yes, so I'm going to go ahead. I'll share my screen real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
So the other second part is because I'm so anal about quality and equipment and stuff like that. And a lot of reviewers, they cover equipment, but I'm not there. I know their point of view. I know their outlook
Yeah.
on things, but I'm not there to see
Yeah.
the equipment because their bias is not might be my bias. You know what I'm saying? Of what they consider quality because they don't have my experience and background in
Yeah.
manufacturing. So
Yeah.
I kind of separated. Jake let me in early on Thursday. So I separated it that way. So I went on Thursday to talk to people because it's less chaotic at that time. And then I reserved Saturday to actually physically go feel the equipment, look at the equipment, look at the welds, the tubing, the engineering, the fit and finishes. Uh, because I got all the other stuff put aside early on.
You see, I think that's so those are the three things that I think you get out of a HomeGymCon experience. Number one, you get to go check out equipment for yourself. And this is actually something, so Jake and I talked for like 30 minutes, I think, yesterday. But this is something Naomi and I talk about all the time. We're like, people say, look at the cost of going to HomeGymCon. But to me, it's like, if you buy something, uh, um, so I'm thinking about a specific example, but I don't want to give that dude any airtime. So, because his online persona is so completely different from how he was at HomeGymCon. So I'm just gonna say that dude. He was embroiled in like an online feud with another content creator about how um, that content creator said that a product was great, right? And he said, yeah, well, when I got it, it didn't work for me. I didn't like it. I'm like, well,
Right,
yeah,
right.
now that I've seen him in person, my suspicion was this was the case, right? And then when I saw him in person and I've already seen the other content creator in person, I said, oh, well, that's why. There's a probably 75-pound weight difference between the two of you.
Yeah.
There is a significant height difference. One is
Yes.
like 5'7", the other one's 6'2". Your limb lengths, your leverages are completely different. You guys didn't have the piece of equipment set up exactly the same way. So what you think is a good way, is going to feel good. It's going to be different than what he thinks. And I think when you go to HomeGymCon, you get to try something and adjust it to you, and then see if, well, if I adjusted it all this to me and it still doesn't work, it ain't for me, right?
Yeah.
Like when I went to the Nicolo booth, Fan had to adjust a couple of things when I was getting on him, right? Because at first I was like, and then he adjusted. I said, oh, okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that kind of goes to your point where it's like, you can't just take what somebody says online and say, oh, okay, that means it's worth the money, because you go spend the money, it gets to your house, and then you don't like it. Now what?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. You're going to save a ton of money. Number two is what you were saying about the community. You meet people, and you're not going to get along with everybody. I mean, that's not how the world works. But you're going to see that there are a ton of people who do think the way you do, and who do appreciate, in your case, who appreciate what you do. And I'll bet you people were telling you about, like, once they started talking to you and understanding how you look at stuff, they probably were like, oh, yeah, that is a good point about, so like you got the shout out to your roller J hooks, for example. Like when you're talking about how you created those, like, you know what, that's probably a good, yeah, I never thought about that. And you could end up in these. I mean, there are people who end up at the bar, continue a conversation that started earlier that day, and it's like 2 a.m. and they're still talking about, like the material that goes into a roller or something like nylon or what, you know what I mean? It's like those, you have these in-depth conversations, and you end up, and the third thing is you go from that, you build a relationship. Now that's what keeps you coming back, because it becomes like a family reunion,
Yeah.
right? You can get your questions answered, but now it becomes like, I mean, you know how many of us really are just introverted, or we just kind of just in our own little zone. So you don't. So once a year, you get to be around people who want to nerd out on the same stuff you want to nerd out on. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Um,
I was really surprised. All these influencers are tall as tall can be. You know, it was insane how many people. I mean, some of these were beyond corn fed. The people at the show, You know, they're
Like Michael from Jungle Gym Reviews, I was surprised how tall he is.
they're
I
they're
knew how
all
tall Tim
tall.
was.
I'm looking up at all of them. I'm 5'7", which is average Italian height, right?
Yeah.
So
Hey, that's the height that conquered the world.
I want to mention, like, you know that story, David Goliath. Goliath was there. He reincarnated, and there was one dude there that was gigantic. He wasn't like huge in size.
He's tall.
He was big. I was like,
Yeah.
how did your mother
How
give
do you
birth to
exist?
you?
That's hilarious. I mean, he's probably not that size. Well, he might. I mean, I don't know. The world's
He's
very different
huge.
now. He could get close.
I saw Charles
I mean,
Barkley
even
at
Jake
the
is taller than I thought.
yeah.
Even
Jake is
Jake was a
tall.
lot taller than I anticipated. Yeah. But so that's another good point, though, because if these are the people who are saying that this piece of equipment feels like this or whatever, and
Yeah,
you're like, so I'm 5'9", right? And you're my height, it's going to be tough to um, extrapolate from what they say is good for you. And I remember when I worked in a public gym, we had people, and this kind of goes to something I'm going to talk about with my next guest next hour. I knew dudes who were competing in bodybuilding, and they legit had 5 different gym memberships because they liked the way a machine felt for chest day, but is that one gym, but is not, and is that one gym, but they hated the cardio at that gym, so they would go to a different gym for cardio in the morning,
uh,
and then they went to a different gym for back day, and they went to a different gym. You know what I mean? It's just I was like, seriously? They're like, yeah. They're like it me, because, and again, these are bodybuilders, so they're not the same proportions as
yeah,
the average person. But a lot of gym equipment is made for average people, right? It's like, okay, well, we figure out who the are, how you have to build like your customer profile. Well, we're building something for this person, right? Okay, you're gonna cover a lot of people, but you're not gonna cover everybody and like the outliers and stuff. That's
yeah.
actually why I like, shout out to Carp. That's actually why I like Carp's channel because he's testing stuff and he's testing stuff that fits people who are not the average size. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I was at GWD, right? Is that how you and booth? And I was talking to the guy who designed that scissor contraption thing, and I was asking him like, what height sizes do you design to? There's a communication barrier, so he didn't really understand what I was
Yeah.
saying, but um, because China's sizes are different than American, you know. So
Hmm.
they tend to want to design for them, which are a majority of them I think are shorter than
Yeah.
anybody at HomeGymCon. Obviously, I didn't get fed right as a kid. uh, I'm still dumbfounded by how tall everybody is. It's insane.
So it's funny you say that, but I recognize the same issue on the other side from ATX.
Uh huh.
And I was actually surprised because when I saw that stuff last year, I was like, y'all are some like legitimately tall, like large people.
Uh,
Why are your benches so small? Right? I was like, I don't understand that, right? And even this is another thing I think comes into play. Overseas, a lot of like the rooms are smaller just because like the homes might be older or whatever.
yeah.
So they don't have to, in terms of getting equipment in and out of the house. So their equipment a lot of times is a lot more compact. That's what oh my god, I forgot his name from ATX, but he was saying basically that the rooms are smaller. So you want to have compact design because you don't build it in that room.
Yeah.
You build it in the warehouse or in the factory, then we ship it to your house. Now you have to get it inside the house into that room.
Yeah.
So like Kevin from our guy from Japan, when he wanted to get his power rack in the house, he had to hand it through the window to his wife because it wouldn't fit through the hallways,
Yeah. That's funny.
right? Yeah. So just thinking about like what the proportions are when you're coming from overseas to here
Yeah.
and now you're building something for us,
Yeah.
that's going to throw things off
There
completely.
is a culture difference, even though people in general are
Marvin,
similar.
sorry about that. Marvin from ATX. That's what I was talking about. Thanks, Jared. But go ahead. What were you going to
Yeah,
say?
yeah, there is a culture difference, you know, not theoretically, not just in size and proportions, but way of pattern of thinking and, you know, uh, So I sell overseas, but I don't sell, to make
Mm,
changes into anything I do. But
yeah. Actually, I'm surprised. I would think because of what we just talked about, that your stuff would show up, like would do very well in like Germany and Japan because
they
of your attention to detail
yeah,
and then also the dimensions of it. I
yeah.
think that yeah.
I
Do you
sell a
sell a
lot.
lot in Japan?
I sell a lot to Switzerland, to Denmark, like all those,
Mm,
especially now the dollar is weaker to the euro, so they get a better
okay,
deal right now than
okay.
you would have at any previous time.
All right, glad you said that. I'm gonna write that down when I'm doing any of my Google ads
Yeah,
targeting target Denmark. Got it. All right.
yeah.
All right.
Australia's starting to pick up in
Yeah.
sales and that too, which I like and dislike because it's really difficult to ship all the way, all the way
That's
out
what I'm saying.
there.
Australia is murderous to ship anything to. I've shipped stuff to Australia before, like T-shirt, and it was just light stuff, banners and things like that. And it's crazy trying to ship stuff there because okay, so a little bit of a tangent, but it's gonna be relevant in a second. So you know how like you're up late at night sometimes too, right? So I'm up and I have like, Discovery Channel or something like that
Uh,
on. And I stopped because there was like this documentary about it's like a truck about the truck drivers in Australia.
mhm.
And it was showing like what they have to do to get from one place to the other. And I mean, I know some of it's dramatized because,
Yeah,
otherwise why would you watch it? But they were showing like, I mean, just thinking like there's huge patches of land where there's nothing there. It's like the only comparison is like, when you're driving in the US from, say, from Texas to Arizona or Texas to New Mexico or whatever, like there's these big
yeah,
stretches where there's absolutely nothing there. Well, that's Australia,
uh-huh,
right? And so that's why it's the shipping cost isn't the problem, isn't because of how much it costs to get to Australia, because it's not super, I mean, it's not too bad from the Pacific, the coast
yeah,
of the US. It's once you get to Australia, getting it to wherever it's got to be, on the truck, right?
yeah.
Because you could break down in the truck, you have a flat tire, and literally you're the only one there, you know? I was like, yeah, that's it. It's crazy just watching it. So anyway, back on topic. Um, so you went in Thursday, so you kind of had that experience. So then when you came to the live show, um, that kind of gave you like a different kind of like, I don't want to say yet another kind of like data point. So what was it like sitting in the live show and hearing the other brands? And of course you also met, Jared and some other people at the live show. So tell me about that experience, um, where it went from the big convention to all of a sudden maybe roughly 40 people in a room all kind of just sitting there
The
listening to
live
something.
show is cool. I know it gets beat down a lot. That Kenzie's mom brings those cinnamon rolls, but I really
Yeah.
truly appreciate not only the cinnamon rolls, but like Kenzie's family supporting her. I think that's really important. Especially when she puts everything she does and her family comes. And I want to say
You
this
were running the
because
camera for her?
Yeah, I want to say it's important because if you're a man or a woman and this is your hobby, I'm going to take it for the man's point of view, and he wants to go to Home Gym Con, and the wife is like, "No, I don't want to go." Blah blah blah. It's not really about going to the show. It's about spending time together in an event,
Mhm.
whether you like it or not. With even if a man went to a sewing convention with his wife, the fact is they travel together, they end up eating dinner together, and enjoying the moment, and you know celebrating somebody else's hobby. And I think it's super cool
Right.
that Kenzie's parents do that with her, you know and yeah, it's not normal that people do
Yeah.
that.
100%. So the whole thing about the cinnamon rolls, um, that what I love the most about it is that happened organically. That wasn't like
Hmm.
something we arranged or whatever. She just happened to say it last year when
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
at
she
that
made
same
she
show,
made the
right?
effort. She probably
Yeah.
has a really big
And she's
heart.
like, "Yeah, I'll bring it." Like, so she said she was gonna bring them, and kind of like, "Oh, okay, cool, right?" But then it actually turned into a real thing, and I like, "Oh, this is actually really, really cool." and also they were phenomenal tasting. But I just think, that's the kind of thing uh, that to me will make Home Gym Con special, because eventually we're going to get to the point, and we may already be there, where you can't meet everybody. So you're going to have like little groups that you'll
Mhm.
run into. You'll say, okay, I'm going to hang out with this group again next year and next year and next year. And I think those are the things that will make Home Gym Con continue to be special, because you keep going every year to see your friends, and then,
Yeah.
oh, we'll go look at equipment together. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really the thing I get out of Home Gym Con the most, is just I go see my friends, and then we go look at equipment together, right?
Right.
Um, so we got a couple of comments. Carp said it's easy to support someone who's willing to show up for the community. And I gotta say, I 100% agree with him, because you and I have had so many conversations just offline. I was like, I recognized that you're somebody who really wants quality for the community, and you're like a mad scientist. You're constantly coming up with ideas and stuff. So I'm glad you're showing that stuff on your Instagram now. It's like people get to
Yeah.
see your heart for this kind of stuff, and why, what you're trying to do. And I knew once people met you that they were gonna be like, oh yeah, that dude's cool. And then Karp also said it was fun to see. Okay, so there you go. He said it was fun to see and watch Mario's mind work, seeing other people's equipment. He said, like, for example, he said, I can make this better. This is too heavy. Why doesn't this swivel? This needs more holes here. He said it was fun watching your brain kind of like work through it, like problem solve.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to figure out, because I hadn't planned on asking you this, but this is actually a cool topic. What was the number one problem that you think needs solving as far as attachments? You understand what I'm saying? It's like you see like
Uh,
there's a bunch of
I
stuff
don't,
out there, but what's the thing that you say, you know what? Somebody really needs to do something about this.
I don't really approach anything like that. Uh, because the body hasn't changed in thousands of years,
Right.
and so I think whatever existed, it's already been made one, whether we know it or not, at one point in time. You know, as new products come out, it gets easier to design new products to attach to like the Aries and stuff like that. And it's more widely used, so that gives you the ability to design a product that can be consumed by more people rather than just a personal thing. Um, yeah, when I was at the show, I was looking for it, like, is it the Vespa or Vesta
That's
equipment
that's
manufacturer? They got that
yeah. That's
dial, the 2-to-1
I
dial.
love that.
Oh my god. I think that's the coolest thing at the show. There was
And I
nothing
saw that,
better
I was
than
like, oh
that.
wow.
I
Yeah.
I've been trying to think of how I can do that. I was looking at planetary gear sets. When you change, you could turn the dial and the planetary gear
Yeah.
sets change from a 2-to-1 to 1-to-1. And I want to see how they did that. I understand it's not a popular company. It's a Chinese company. And
Right.
the other thing I saw, not with only that company, with the other Chinese made label companies, is they are trying so hard to be at the top of the list. Like, they want to be an American name, more than rep. And they're trying so
Yeah.
hard. The the questions they ask, the people they have there that you interact with, there was so
Mhm.
many women from China that were so articulated and were so good at presentation that
Yeah.
I noticed, right?
Yeah.
It was
You're
noticeable
very
and it was
personable,
memorable.
yeah. And
And
they listen to, like, when you're talking, like, they're listening to you like, "Oh, okay, okay, okay." Um,
yeah, I
so
did,
I'm gonna go back to
like, that company was good. Expedience speakers were good. Um, I generally think women are better at that role than men, because some
yeah,
men, they get into which I noticed at the show in certain booths overseas, is their I want to call it toughness or grit was too high to be at a customer service level. The ego
mhm,
was too
right,
big, and
right,
they're really choppy and butchy, like, yeah, 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 like, dumbass, you should
yeah,
already know that type of thing. and they should
Yeah.
push themselves out of that position, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
What? Well, let me say this, and this is about Vesta specifically. So I did for anybody who hasn't seen it, I did a video. We did our booth tour with Vesta. I've already released it. And so you guys go check it out. Well, when you get to the part where it's very early in the video where they're showing me that dial, right?
mhm.
To go from 2 to 1 to 1 to 1. The f- I, First of all, I'd never seen anything like that. And we actually were the only ones. I will say that we probably were the first ones to do a booth tour with Vesta because we were the only ones at HFA, and that's where
Mhm.
they were. So we did a booth tour with them at HFA. And I didn't see that dial on their products there, right? So now they're at HomeGymCon, they have the dial, and that really caught me off guard. And so, the first thing I thought of was, how long is this thing going to last? It's like you're constantly twisting it, right? So my first question was, what's the warranty on that? Because if that kind of goes out, what I mean, I'll immediately, what's your warranty on that? I
Yeah.
love it, but how long is it going to last? And he said, lifetime warranty. I was like, seriously? So the reason why I love that isn't necessarily because, well, lifetime warranty. I mean, that's great, but it shows they have confidence in the design
Yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
not gonna, I mean, they're like, yeah, we know it's gonna last. If it doesn't, yeah, no problem. I
Yeah.
mean, lifetime is a big. I mean, think about it, lifetime is a long time. You know what I mean? So that really impressed me, and I agree with the thing about the presentation because I think whenever you go from in my position, if I go use something, and I tell you again, this is just based off of my proportions and my how I train and everything else, and if I'm standing right there next to you and you see me not able to figure out how to do something, that's why a lot of times when somebody's showing us a booth tour, I try to do it myself first because I want to see if this gets shipped to somebody's house, how easy is it going to be for them to figure out how to use it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so what I look for when I do this, so that's like a little tip for you guys, like you watch and do booth tours, right? I know that there's some content creators that want they want you to kind of like they want the brand to show them how to do it off camera. Then they go do it so like they know how to do it.
Yeah.
I prefer to do it on camera
Yeah.
and figure it out because everywhere I fumble and struggle might be somewhere where you struggle.
Yeah.
And then that shows the brand, hey, that might be something I need to pay attention to when I'm making the assembly manual or the instruction manual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you never know. Like I would honestly, when it comes to booth tours and things like that, I personally, I shouldn't even say this out loud, somebody gonna steal it. I would prefer to do stuff like that live. So people in the live chat can ask, hey, does it do this? How do you adjust that?
Yeah.
What if you do this? You know what I'm saying? Because then you're answering questions people want answers to, not me just telling you, oh, this is what I think you need to know. It's
Yeah.
less of I'm handing this to you and more we're interacting. You know what I'm
Did you
saying?
did you do boot tours there? I saw you did a couple, but
Yeah,
like
I did some. I didn't do a ton. I didn't do a ton because we were trying to like quite literally um we're trying to do like a lot of relationship building with the
yeah.
brands because like with the thing with the Shopify store, I mean, so first of all, shout out to Mario because he agreed to have his stuff in our Shopify store. All I had to do was say, hey man, I need some help. And we need to get some products in the store because I'm trying to do a soft launch and I can't do a launch of a store if I don't have any products in it. And Mario was like, yeah, okay, no problem, let's do it. And even more, just so you guys see behind the scenes, he didn't even have his Shopify going. So he had to figure out how to do it. But he's like, yeah, man, I'm happy to do it for you. Right. And I got brands, some bigger brands who already have Shopify, and they're kind of like dragging their feet about adding their stuff to our store. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. You need to kind of see, like, you need to see it run a little bit. But that means that somebody like you who's like, yeah, man, I'm here to support you and just jump right on and did it. That means a lot, right? So anyway, so we were trying to build those relationships and we did a few booth tours that we had agreed to do. So yeah, that's a
The
pretty long answer to
yeah,
a short question.
it popped in my head, and I want to tell people like the experience at Home Gym Con is different than what you see online from social media.
Mm,
It's 180-degree difference. I think being there is chill. You get to talk to people. There's no stress. When I watch it online, it's not FOMO. It's just like it looks like straight up chaos everywhere. You know, you could tell a sense of
Because you get
urgency from
1,000 videos released the same day.
yeah, there's sense of urgency. Who can get this? But I feel that through the camera watching it on the years I didn't go. I was like, this looks like a shit show. You know, sorry, I know you don't curse. I apologize. I don't know how accurate, but that's the way I
Look
feel when I
Wyatt and Tanner's ears, Jared.
when I watch it online, and then when you go there, you see those influencers running around, and that you see them, they're taking up booth space. They have like a crew around them. Nobody gets around them, and then the Red Sea parts for them as they do their thing, and then life moves on, right? And it's that's how I view it through social media, just like that. But when you're there, it's completely different. It's chill. It's not chaotic. You get to tinker with things unless they're filming, and then you know the bodyguards will keep you away, like they're Brad Pitt in the house or something. But
That's hilarious.
but
So I'll just tell
yeah,
you, I'm gonna tell you. So my dad was a journalist for 40 years. And one of the things that I used to hear him say, it's not even something that he was telling me, he would just say it. When he would come up, he just say, "You're there to tell the story, you're not there to be the story."
yeah,
So the way that Naomi and I move is on purpose to try to blend into the background.
mhm,
So like, okay, I knew I succeeded because I'll use luck. So this guy ran past me uh to say hi to, so I was talking to Adrian, and he ran, and this guy ran past me to say hi to Adrian, right? Adrian Gluck. And he's like, he didn't even look at me, right? He was like, he handed me his phone. "Can you take our picture?" Yeah, sure. Right? But to me, that's success because I'm trying
uh-huh,
to blend into the background because I'm there to
uh-huh,
tell the story of HomeGymCon, right? So he turns around, obviously he got to turn around to take the picture, right? And he sees me holding the camera. He's like, "Oh, I watch your stuff too." And I'm like, "No, you don't." He's
yeah,
like, "Yeah,
yeah,
I do." I said, now he looks like mortified. I'm like, "Dude, it's okay." Like that shows I'm successful. I don't want to okay, I don't mind taking pictures with people when
yeah,
people come. I don't mind. But what I'm saying is I'm not there to make myself a spectacle or anything like that. And I'm not saying Adrian is. I'm just saying I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that what you're talking about, like being in the way of the people who are actually there to have that experience, I don't want to ever do. So that's why we do it the way
yeah.
we do it. It's like, I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
think
let
it's
me just kind of
it's
be,
a catch
yeah,
22, right?
yeah,
Because Jake's trying to put out to the people the experience, but that at the same time, it's hindering the people who actually went there's experience because they have to wait. It
oh, that's the
depends
thing I
where they're
think
at.
Thursday is for, though.
I'll come back to this booth when they're over, but you never do, so that
Right.
you hinder the experience for the customer. You know, you
Yeah.
can see it both ways, but yeah, it's not like I'm in this every day, you know, so I already am exhausted over it, seeing all the
Yeah.
content. But I wonder if other people are also exhausted by seeing the same rhetoric about the same products, about the same people over and over, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Because I think you can get, it's like people talk about like the MCU, the superhero fatigue or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's necessarily fatigue, but I do think that people get tired of seeing the same kinds of videos all the time.
Yeah.
So you see that our content, and then I'm not knocking anybody else. I'm just saying I think people are tired. There's only so much you can do with AI to change your thumbnail if the actual video is the exact same, right?
Yeah.
So so first of all, Thursday was supposed to be influencer. Thursday was supposed to be content creator only,
Yeah.
and I think that expanding Thursday to just content creator, just make the entire day just content creator.
Yeah.
Start at 9 and let us just get most of our filming out of the way. I think that would be
Yeah.
a very useful way to do
I
it.
would even say it at 7:30 because it takes a long time, you know.
Oh yeah,
And if
yeah,
you wake
yeah.
up early,
And we just
it's
gonna
the
cycle through. Yeah,
yeah, wake up early and then at 7:30 the people are fresh and then you could truly give them undivided attention for that gap of time.
yeah,
Uh
yeah.
which is
So Jake said
important.
that the reason why it was shorter though was because the brands asked for shorter days because that's a long day to be there. But I think that kind of like shines through too. It's like, okay, now you got to decide who you're going to talk to, right? Like, is it a customer or is it us, right? So even when I was doing I'll tell you guys a little bit behind the scenes stuff. So I did the bench press thing at Bells of Steel, right, with Kayvon. Originally, Kayvon wasn't supposed to be the one spotting me, but that's just how it worked out. So he's spotting me, and people were asking, were like, there was somebody who was on a piece of equipment, and they looked like they were gonna die, right? Well, he's spotting me on the bench. So Kayvon is like trying to decide, who do I save? He's like a lifeguard. He's like, he's like, okay, John, you got this weight? You got this? Because I might need to go. So we cut that out, but I'm just saying that's like a little behind the scenes thing. But anyway, we do have some comments. So first of all, we've been trying to figure out what we should call that live show at HomeGymCon. Does live show at HomeGymCon is way too long?
It is very
And
long. Yeah.
yeah, so I think the reunion, Jared says the reunion. I think that's a great name. That's what we're gonna go with until somebody comes up with a better one.
Yeah.
The reunion. That's what
I,
we're
I,
gonna go with
I
because
think
it
that's a
really
good
does feel.
name. It's a good
I
name.
love it. Like yeah, we should make shirts like family reunions. They always have a reunion shirt. Now going back to what you said about the spouse going to Home Gym Con, Letha had a comment about that. I had two comments about that. She said, so last year Home Gym Con was the same week as the Barbie Expo. That was unique. Okay. So you see, like, especially getting on the elevator, because we will get on the elevator all together,
Uh-huh.
people from both events. That was
It might.
I'm gonna
I
say
I took my kids. We didn't talk about them. I talked to two of my three kids, and they had a
yeah.
blast. They it,
Oh, I was wondering about that.
they had a blast. Kids do not. I could talk forever, and I'm talking to people, right? And my kids, they're pretty independent. They're like, Dad, we're gonna go do something else. I said, Roger that. See ya. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
came back with energy drinks and power bars and all sorts of
Oh
stuff.
boy.
And you want one, Dad?
Your kids that you that's hilarious. I
they
think that's hilarious. Your kids, first of all, your kids are awesome because they were helping carry stuff and everything for the live for the reunion. They
uh-huh.
were helping carry coffee and everything else upstairs. So I think they're really really awesome. But I was just saying about the Barbie thing. First of all, there's apparently no age limit to dressing like Barbie. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Uh-huh.
All right. But Letha said the support that the men were showing their spouses who were dressed as Barbie
Yeah.
was awesome. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
And then she also said, coming from someone, this is from her, coming from someone whose spouse doesn't generally enjoy anything gym related, my spouse has been phenomenal in supporting my dreams. Heck, Jeremy actually even helped assemble stuff at the RitFit booth, like just because he was there to support Letha. He's
Yeah.
attended Home Gym Con the last 2 years, and she said, I agree, Mario. Yeah, and shout out to Jeremy, man. He's like I said, there are pictures on Letha's Instagram of Jeremy assembling stuff. He wasn't really, he's just there with Letha. He just jumped right in and started helping put stuff together. Um, Shout out to my guy Dean. What's going on, Double Dog? He said Mario's up way too early. Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah.
We're gonna have Dean's another person who's very supportive. He's gonna have some of his products in our Shopify store. So I appreciate it, man. This is a very good question from Jared. Said maybe this question's coming up. He said, but what are Mario's thoughts on being a vendor there next year? And I want to know that too.
uh, I attempted to do it twice and I backed out. And it depends how next year goes if I can get the shop going. My goal is to get the shop to a point where I can hire people. Because this year I turned 48, you know. You see those ads of the old men jumping out of the truck and then they show up dead, you know, but they in their head they think they're okay. Yeah, that's like me working every day. You know, there's only so much one
By the
person.
time you're my age, you'll understand. Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so much one person my age could tackle. You know, so I really need to focus. It comes down to money rather than time. I need to allocate the money towards getting to where I need to be.
Which requires people need to buy your stuff. Let's say that too.
Yeah, that's true too. But you know, I have electrical to run, and I'm really really close, and I'm happy for where I'm at. I just those finite details because once you hire people, you know, you're really in charge of their livelihood. It's
Yeah.
important to me to be to provide a consistent paycheck and stability in
Yeah.
their life.
I mean, that's what I mean when people think. So for people who don't know, I think I touched on it earlier. So in the past, your stuff was made in China, and
Mhm.
you recognize this phrase, but you had to go high and to the right a bunch of times about stuff coming in like not to your standards.
Yeah.
And so now you're like, you know what? He's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I do know. Like a throwback to your Navy days. So it went high and to the right. But so finally, you're like, look, we're just gonna make it over here so I can keep the quality consistent. Um, and I think what people don't get is like, okay, now you're making it here in the States. The price is gonna go up because that's just the reality.
Hmm.
But by supporting you, they're making it possible for you to just come up with a fictional character. You know, Frank is working for Mario now. Frank can now
Yeah.
feed his family, put his kids through
Yeah.
school. He doesn't have to have two jobs, working for Mario and then something else in the night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To make ends meet, which means he comes to work every day with energy to actually get the job done. So now your stuff doesn't show up out of spec or whatever, right? And that's kind of like what I think is important. It's one of the reasons why I want to do some of the projects that we've talked about this in the for this year, um, is like you are trying to do this. So what are the because people are always looking for jobs. You never know what people, who's watching or whatever.
Hmm.
Tell me, what are the skill sets that you're looking for to hire somebody to come work for you? Like,
Well,
just
I
make it a, oh,
so
I saw that carp. I'm not putting that on screen. But go ahead.
so there, like, I would need a powder coater for one. I would need
Okay.
somebody who packages, because that's 80% of the battle, is to assemble everything and package it correctly. Um,
Yeah.
even a press brake operator, because once the ball rolling, that those machines run. Uh, as long as the shop's open, they're running, they're bending, they're all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then someone who can weld, and so that's like 4 employees right there just
Yeah.
to do batch manufacturing. Even I'll give you an example. Let's say my hand glute roller, right? I need 100 of them, like minimum. That's a lot of product, and that's a lot of time. That's a lot of
Okay. For
powder
your what
coating.
now?
I need 100 of them minimum.
100 of what? Yeah, but 100 what
The
product?
hand glute rollers.
Okay. Oh, glue hand roller. I got you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's 100 assembly, 100 boxing, 100 welding, 100 bending, and all that. It eats up time. That's one product. Well, I have more than one product,
Yeah. You got
So
much more than one product. Yeah. And that's not counting when somebody like me calls you and says, "Hey, can you make this thing for me?" And
yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
"Okay, I gotta stop doing this so I can make this for John." You
yeah.
know, yeah,
I
it's
I I
it's one of
just
the things that people don't get.
yeah, I just cut I nested 60. I think it was 60 of those Voltra mounts, but that was 1 inch, and then I need to make another 60 5/8. So that's 120
Right,
just right there, and
right,
powder coating. So those numbers
yeah.
really add
While
up
you're doing that, you
fast.
can't do anything else.
I can't do
Yeah, when
anything
you're doing that,
else.
you can't do anything else.
I'm
Yeah, yeah,
tapping
exactly.
holes, and yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, so powder coat, weld, what did you say? Somebody to handle the package, just packaging correctly,
just
and
packaging
then
in general.
and a welder. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot. So if you guys live in Texas or you're willing to move, you might need to hit up Mario at 46
Yeah.
Fitness. It's like, I'll put this up right now. Hey, you never know, man.
You
So it's
never
just
know.
crazy because so here's something. It's another brand, and they actually presented at the reunion, right? It was StrengthFlex because until I spoke with them, it never even occurred to me how important sewing is. And they're talking about,
Yeah.
yeah, we have to. So and the reason I bring that up is so you're talking about the skill sets you need. Just because you need it doesn't mean that there are people who have the skills.
Yes.
Now you're actually like looking, you think, oh yeah, welders, there's welders everywhere. Maybe, maybe not. You got to look all over, like, does this person actually have the skills for me to say, okay, I'm going to give you this job and I don't have to stand over you,
Yeah.
right? So there's a lot that goes in there. It's not just, oh, can you weld? Sure. Okay, come on. Oh, my cousin knows how to weld. Great. You know
I
what I mean?
I
Yeah,
I trained every welder we've ever had to weld correctly from scratch. Uh,
nice.
and none of them knew how to TIG weld to boot. I said, you want to raise, learn how to TIG weld. Well, I don't know how.
Right.
I could teach you at lunch, but they never did it. They never,
Wow.
they never did it. I said, use my material, my gas, my electricity to learn how to TIG weld during lunch, and I'll train you. And they just didn't. They wanted to go to
And then
lunch.
you get a raise. Like,
Yeah, you get a
brother,
raise, and they just didn't do
that's
it.
crazy.
So,
That's see, okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So you guys are watching this show. If you know somebody, um, don't just send Mario your cousin who's been sleeping on your couch and you got to get him a job. Don't just send him that, okay? But
he
if you
won't get
legitimately know
hired.
somebody who's looking for a job and who's willing to work, the man's telling you he's willing to help people out, and he wants to give them a good,
Yeah.
honest wage, and it could, I mean, this could change somebody's life. So that's just another reason why I'm a huge fan of what you're doing over there. Little bit of a side note. Uh, you've been to a bunch of automotive trade shows,
Yeah, a
right?
lot.
Coming out of the automotive industry. How did HomeGymCon compare to those? Because, and I'm saying from like the spectacle standpoint, because I remember I've been to a few of them before. That's where I first saw the four-door Wrangler when it was still a concept vehicle,
Yeah.
right? And those are kind of like, oh wow, what's that? Oh, what's that? Right. And I think this year's Home Gym Con was a little bit more like that, where they had prototypes and we're trying to see like what you think.
Yeah, that was
What was your
old
perspective of that?
SEMA days where old SEMA
Yeah,
days where
that's what I was.
companies would do a new launch at SEMA, and
Yeah,
they'd
yeah.
be like, "Oh, this is the coming stuff." And SEMA's not like that anymore because it's small brands like me that used to exist. Because I
Mm,
would drop to market, we'd beat them, and they were already a year and a half behind our production flow, so they were
wow.
losing. And
Yeah.
the bigger in relation to SEMA, those corporate companies, the bigger the companies get, the slower they move. So it's the
Hmm.
small companies like me that can release and do and set trends. And they were always a year to 2 years behind because they would look at data and numbers and sales numbers and popular trends. Well, who was setting the trends were me. So
Yeah,
they
yeah,
would
yeah,
follow my trends. So they would always be behind because data sets are more important to them based on sales and numbers. And then
right.
SEMA is a nonprofit, which I used to be
Right.
part of SEMA. It's $9,000 a year at the low level to be part of it, nonprofit. So they would do articles and put out numbers, but those numbers are not trending numbers because time needs to accumulate for you to put out the data. Well, I
Yeah.
was setting those numbers ahead of anybody else, me and smaller companies like me.
Right.
So, so let's push SEMA aside because that's a beast on its own. But let's go to Off Road Expo, which is also big. And I want to say it doesn't matter how big the event goes, you do not lose the culture of wanting to meet your friends there and hang out there. The Off Road Expo
Mm.
is gigantic. I think there's the West Coast. I think there's three of them a year, and it's all demographically where you're located, which one you go to, the most popular. But man, when I drank, it was a party at night, all the time there. And then next day, you go present yourself at a show with a buzz,
Yeah.
So
Right.
the culture never changed, and the same people win every year. And part of these shows, so the way the shows are structured as a vendor when we went, once you sign up for the show, you're on a list. And if so, the more years you're there, you get the more preferred booths. And
Mhm.
they don't care how big or how small your company is. You need time. It's time that gets you preferred locations,
So you
not
invested.
sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
drop out one year, you're at the back of the list. Tough crap.
Mm.
So some people don't even go, but they pay. They pay to lock in that list. The SEMA's exactly the same. Like it's time and rate, you know.
It's actually not. Jake, I hope you're listening. That might be
Yeah.
a nice route to go because sometimes brands are like, "Oh, we're coming." Because what happens, well, what's happened a couple times is brands have said they're coming and then they drop out.
Yeah.
right?
Back
Because
of the
whatever
list.
happens, for
Back
whatever
of the
reason, yeah.
list.
So then he has to try to like replace them though with another whatever, because that's obviously revenue. So yeah, that's actually a pretty cool.
So
I'm 100% on board with that,
they,
because from our standpoint, we're looking forward to seeing this brand, and now they're not going to be there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
So
okay,
they set those hard standards from the beginning so they can keep consistency. Because then if you're growing and you don't have that consistency backing you, how do you pre-plan a bigger venue somewhere else if people get to do whatever they want? They're controlling your growth instead of you controlling your growth. So they get hard nosed into that, and it's
right,
they can care less. They're like, you're
yeah.
back of the list. You know.
So how does HomeGymCon compare to that?
So it's the same. You meet the same amount of people. You become friends with people, even though they're a bigger venue and Home Gym Con's not that big compared relatively to that. You don't lose that culture. It doesn't go away.
Yeah, gotcha.
SEMA is completely different. That's like the Arnold. That's a corporate world, and those corporate entities, the way they flex on other bigger corporations, because they do, I've talked to them, is they spend money on their booths so they can give the
Right.
finger to the other corporations they're competing against.
Yeah,
And these are
yeah,
capital investment groups. They're not brands. They're capital investment groups in New York in an office. They're not
yeah,
brands. It's
yeah, yeah,
pretend,
yeah. I know what you mean.
So
Yeah, they recognize the money making opportunity, and they're like, okay, yeah, so we can go here because we have a presence at the largest fitness expo window. I got you. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I'd say that the thing that, as an attendee, and this I think is going to be a great way to segue into when I bring Jared on um, next hour, is there's an opportunity for the brands, and a brand that does a good job of this is Body Solid. Okay, when you go to HFA, which is much bigger than Home Gym Con because they've been around longer, when you go to HFA, it can kind of be a little bit impersonal, like you're saying,
Yeah.
right? We kind of stand out because we're like really for the last 2, 3 years, we've been the only home gym media or the only home gym content creators who attend the HFA, right? But one thing I've noticed that Body Solid does is they have an event for people who are into their brand, like a get together afterward,
Yeah.
right? And I think that that's like the next phase when right now the get together is the VIP dinner that Jake runs,
Uh-huh.
right? I think the next phase will be when brands start having get togethers. Hey, you're a fan of Bells of Steel? We're going to have a Bells of Steel dinner on Thursday night,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And we'll, and you know what I mean, that kind of thing. And here's the thing, brother should get paid. Jared is gonna be mad at me. He's looking. He's like, "You're giving away ideas for free." I know. My wife hates it too. One of the reasons we became huge fans of Universal Nutrition is they had an after party event after the Arnold every Friday night.
Yeah.
They might still do it. It's called the National ABC. You go to the National ABC, and it's literally they rent a gym. And the only people in there are you guys, are the fans of Animal. We all have Animal t-shirts on. They're
Uh-huh.
getting tons of
Uh-huh.
UGC content. There's a deadlift party. There's
Uh-huh.
somebody else bench pressing. They
Uh-huh.
got the people who man their booth are there. So you can ask them training questions. You can actually, there's a raffle so you can get a chance to train with, say, an athlete, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, they feed you dinner. So you work out, then you eat, and you go back. If you go to the Arnold the next day, that's fine. But you had that experience.
Yeah.
So there were tons of us who came to the Arnold, not to go to the Arnold, but because you go to the Arnold, and then that night you go to the National
Uh-huh.
ABC. That is where the opportunity is for brands to build community at Home Gym Con going forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's how you build like the tribe of people, and you get loyalty to your product in an organic way, an
Yeah.
intentional way, instead of just trying to be louder than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. It's more on a
Does that make
personal.
sense?
It's in a personal
Yeah,
one-on-one. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So like I said, I think different. Before I let you go, man, go ahead and let everybody know what's going on with your brand. Tell them what your Instagram is so they can keep watching you welding stuff and moving and using forklifts and all the other stuff you're doing. Because it's entertaining.
Yeah,
I
well,
love
I'm
watching you
glad.
struggle. I
So
love watching you struggle.
46 Fitness is the Instagram, 46fitness.com. Right now, the company's just me, and I make gym equipment for the home gym and a commercial space sometimes. And yeah, I'm
Awesome.
always,
Oh, and if you need a job, hit him up.
yeah,
He's hiring.
I try to, it's random. I don't have set times, but sometimes on Fridays, I'll post live video of me actually working, welding, whatever. If you have questions, you can throw them at me. Sometimes I just push live and I'll weld, and it is what it
Let's
is.
do something with that. We'll talk offline. I'm gonna be doing some stuff for my dad today, but I got an idea. I got you.
Yeah.
I got an idea. All
Somebody
right.
asked that
Hey man,
they wanted to see powder coating, so I filmed powder coating last Friday. Me powder coating stuff.
I love it.
Then
I
they
love
asked
it.
powder coating questions, which is funny.
I'm down with that. All right. I'm a man. Appreciate you being here. Thank
Yeah,
you for getting it way too early. Again, thank you for your consistent support of our brand. And tell your kids I said hey. Hope
I
they're
will.
enjoying the toys.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I'll talk to you
Later,
later.
my man. All right. Bye. So that was my guy Mario from 46 Fitness. Mario is an awesome dude. I know a lot of you guys said that you mentioned during the show in the chat that you enjoy meeting him, and that's one of the things that I am happy about with this show is that we give you a chance to get to know brands beyond just what you see on social media, the things that they broadcast out, because sometimes you can get the wrong impression of a brand based upon what you see them post on social media. I like having these conversations so you guys can kind of see the heart behind a company. Um, and fair warning, if your company got no heart, we'll see that too. So I love the authenticity of the brands who choose to come on and spend their time with us. And as we say good morning to the mountain time zone, we're going to keep that same vibe going because I've got somebody I have been waiting to interview for such a long time. First of all, it's my fault. This guy was good enough to have me on as a guest on his podcast when I'm not sure we even had double-digit subscribers on YouTube at the time. He brought me on. He let me ramble about my weird training ideas. He invited me into his Facebook group, no strings attached. And he's never asked for a dime from me. He's always been really cool on Instagram. And, I really, really appreciate him for that and for what he's done to not only inspire in entrepreneurs like me, but also people who just want to be faster, stronger, more athletic, and healthier for a long, long time to come. So shout out to you, Jared. You did kind of inspire a t-shirt I made. We'll talk about that in a minute. But my next guest is Jared Moon. Everybody give him a warm welcome from Garage Gym Athlete in the Three Fitness Better Human podcast. We're gonna just start calling it Jared Moon Enterprises. All right. Let's bring him on in here now.
John, what's up? How's it going, man?
Hey, we need the energy up. Like it's got to be when there's no. You can't use your podcast, your easy listening jazz. We can't do that. All right.
Yeah, I keep the
I'm
steady
sitting
energy
in it.
level all day.
Yeah, you see I'm not in my normal office because we're actually traveling visiting my parents, and so I don't have all this stuff. But I'm looking at your little podcast background, the ambiance, everything's optimized. I'm like, you don't come on my show and upstage me, Jared. All right, there'll be no more of that.
I can switch to the iPhone if that'd be better. It'd be good.
There you go. Exactly. Do your part, man. Do your part. Um, Seriously though, I really appreciate you coming on the show because we're gonna unpack your Instagram post and your podcast episode, which I did check out. But before we do that, I think it's important for people to understand kind of like not only who you are, but who your core audience is. So because that's gonna explain and make it easier, make everything else after that easier to understand if they understand the journey you took to get to HomeGymCon. So let's start with there. Unpack who you are, what you do, and who your core audience is.
Yeah. So through the context of garage gyms, I started publishing garage gym content very early. It was around 2011. I started putting out DIY projects for garage gyms on my blog at the time, which was End of Three Fitness. And so that kind of like kicked everything off for garage gyms for me because I had no money. I was active duty military. And so I uh, just started building projects one at a time, like a plyometric box. I built a squat rack out of wood and all these things. And that started to catch on. A lot of people, even back in 2011, were looking for that. Some equipment manufacturers had come online, but shipping was still ridiculous. Getting the equipment was ridiculous. So a lot of people were actually looking to build their own gym equipment. And that just kind of snowballed because I wasn't that interested in the equipment side of things. I was a coach, strength and conditioning coach, and that's all I really wanted to do. So that transitioned to me training people, again, also online very early on, training people online only and in person. And that's kind of how things came about. And so that goes all the way back to 2011 when I started with garage gym content. And like I said, it's just snowballed over the years, turned into Garage Gym Athlete, where we're actually helping athletes train at home, minimalist performance training. And it's been a lot of fun. And, it's been just a huge transition for over the years. As far as my audience, that's the transition. It's been, you mentioned, we kind of talked before this episode, you're like probably a lot of military personnel. And I would say that's not as true anymore. I think when I was in the military, I attracted a lot of military personnel, but now it's way more just the everyday athlete, like moms, dads, school teachers, accountants. There's definitely, military law enforcement in there as well, but it's just people who are looking to push themselves a little bit more than, a standard like bodybuilding workout or running or whatever.
So first of all, we'll throw this comment up here. This is one of the things I love about the live chat format because you get to interact with people in real time. And so Letha from Balance and Grace Coaching. So she is she has a personal training business that she started out of her home. Is actually, I guess, inspired by HomeGymCon. She attended HomeGymCon last year, and she's like, and she was kind of like trying to figure out what she was going to do. She had just left her job, and she's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to do. She's on a smaller scale doing what you do for the women, the ladies in her community. And she's in this small town in Alabama. And I think she's got one of the most inspiring stories. Anyway, she says, thank you for your service, Jerred.
Thank you.
And I think looking at it from the standpoint of the fact that you are all about performance, I kind of share a little bit of that, I guess, viewpoint. When I see a piece of any kind of equipment, right? No matter where I am. If you show me a piece of gym equipment, the first thing I think of is, what problem is this intended to solve? And if I can't figure out what problem it's solving, then I immediately have almost a bias like, oh, so this is a solution looking for a problem. Or worse, it's a solution trying to convince you there's a problem.
Right.
As part of this marketing thing. Does that make kind of sense?
Yeah. Like, do you actually need this thing? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why do I need that? So at the same time, I think that because I always have to also recognize that because of what my personal fitness goals are. So I compete in powerlifting. I have grandkids. I want to be able to still play with them as they get older. I assume our other kids are going to have kids at some point, and I'll still want to be young enough to play with them when they're born. My goals don't necessarily match up with somebody else who's just like, well, look, I just want to, my dream has always been to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, even if I don't compete. I want to look good, I want to be able to wear tight shirts at the club or the grocery store, wherever people hang out. and so sometimes if I superimpose my goal on them, then I don't see the solution that piece of equipment is for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you, in that context, I want you to unpack how you felt when you saw what you saw at HomeGymCon in terms of the products that were out there, because there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I think so. First off, Home Gym Con was really cool. Overall, really impressed with everyone there, what Jake's put together. I think all of that is incredible. I think the shocker for me was how commercialized it's becoming. I think that was just more surprising to me. Is like, oh wow, this is like people are actually trying to build commercial gyms, global gyms in their homes. And so that's obviously not my stance. What I think you like, that's not how I would approach it. How our athletes would approach it doesn't mean you can't do it, and they wouldn't be chasing it if it wasn't economical, right? Like if there wasn't if people didn't want that, they wouldn't be building those things. So I'm not trying to throw shade on that. It's just the fact that that was surprising to me. It was like shock. I was like, oh, because I don't pay attention to the equipment side of
Right.
garage. Like to me, equipment is a means to an end. It's like you're buying equipment so you can get fit and healthy and in shape and do all these cool things. So I don't pay attention all that much to like a new gadget that comes out or whatever, just because like I feel like my garage gym's kind of complete. So I'm not really like in the market for looking for anything else. But it is cool when I went to see all these things. I'm like, wow, there's a ton of innovation going on here. Like there's a lot of crazy stuff. So I would say that was one of my biggest shock factors was like, I guess this is what the market's doing. The market is no longer trying to appeal to like the minimalist. And that makes sense because like after you have a barbell and some kettlebells, like what else are they going to sell you? It's like we need other things. We need more innovative things. So I'd say that was one of the big surprises in Home Gym Con for me.
So I'm like one advantage of being older than most of the people in the space, and having been in this, and an advantage of being having been in the space since 2001 is I got to see like a lot of different paradigm shifts. So when I first started, we could only use commercial equipment.
Right.
First of all, nobody was using kettlebells. Let's just start with that because I started my home gym before CrossFit was invented, right? So we were all doing some version of, and I wasn't into powerlifting at the time. I had just come out of competing in kickboxing. And so everything we knew was, I mean, like we played pumping iron on first VHS, then we got the DVD.
Love it.
And so we played it. Now we got the YouTube video clip or whatever, and we got it on digital streaming to play it. But that was what was playing in our home gym when me and my sons and I would work out. So I got to see us getting used equipment out of the newspaper, classified ads, whatever, then Craigslist. And then I remember it became a lot easier to get actual equipment because before that you were getting like some variation of a Bowflex, right? And unless you were getting used commercial equipment, let's say a high school down the street is upgrading their gym, right? If you wanted a barbell, you go right there, and it's going to be one of those bars with the old the end that's with the little Allen key. You had to like tighten it up because it would keep coming loose every couple sets, right? Then CrossFit happened, and Greg Glassman wrote that article, that blog post, The Garage Gym. All of a sudden, you had all of these people who were into barbells and plates and stuff. They're asking for this stuff when then the market responded. And that's when I started seeing stuff that I wanted all of a sudden is available. Rogue Fitness comes along, and because Bill Henniger's wife did CrossFit, and they said, hey, we need CrossFit equipment. Cool, let's do it, right? So that's when I said, oh, cool, I can finally get the stuff I've been looking for brand new instead of having to wait until a school doesn't want it anymore. Then COVID happened. And I think that's what caused the shift again, because a lot of people who attended, I can say global gym, I guess, but in terms of the type of gym, the gym that appeals to the general fitness crowd, and because of their model, and I used to work in public gyms, because of their business model, they didn't really care about you necessarily making progress as much as they want you to, all right, if this hurts people's feelings, I'm sorry, but it's real. If you look at the membership numbers for a gym, if all of those people showed up to actually train every month, they would be shut down because of the fire marshal. They don't actually want you all to show up. That's just me being real. And we even set up, when I worked in public gym, they taught us classes on how to set up the equipment so you funnel people in and out, because we don't want them in here for a long time. So that affected the kind of equipment we get. Anything that would cause people to congregate and cluster in one spot, got to go. That's why you don't see as many squat racks, because what do you typically need if you're squatting a lot of weight? You need people to spot you. Now there's a crowd, right? And instead you see equipment like machines that you can use, because you can probably figure that out by yourself, right? Okay, so that crowd suddenly had nowhere to work out when COVID hit. And they're starting to be at home, and they wanted something that replicated what they were used to at XYZ. I'm trying not to call out a brand, at XYZ Fitness, right? Maybe they used to work out at a place that gave you pizza after the workout's over. Well, they want stuff, and those places attract you. We go to HFA every year. And when I sit in on the gym design seminars and workshops, they're talking about colors, lighting, music, things like that, because they're trying to appeal to people who may or may not, who may be switching gyms every month, right? I think a lot of that came into the home gym space, for good or bad, because of COVID. And so as a result, when something looks good, what do you have? Collectors, right? You got people who collecting equipment based on what it looks like. So I think there's that element of it too. But I think this year at HomeGymCon, you had a lot more brands that were doing what I was talking to Mario in the previous segment about. They're bringing prototypes. Like, is this something you want?
Mm-hmm.
Give me feedback on it. It's not necessarily stuff that, like a concept car. I don't actually plan for you to drive this. I just want to, this is what's possible, and let's kind of iterate after we get your feedback. I think there's a little bit of that. What was it like in that environment for you to do a live show, a live podcast?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I think we had snagged a couple of people for a quick podcast, but eventually we were like, let's just go live and just talk about this to our audience and see who's interested. Because one thing that I found interesting, I'm trying to unpack who the Home Gym Con audience truly is, like the attendees and everything, right? Because
Mhm.
my
You mean you're
audience
still
is,
trying to do that now?
yeah, because like
Okay.
we don't have a small audience. Like, we have thousands of athletes that follow our program, and we're not massive on YouTube, but from an audio podcast perspective, like, we have a
Oh,
fairly
mhm.
large garage gym like podcast. And so when we reached out to our audience of like, hey, we're going to Home Gym Con, this was like we had mentioned on the podcast in a couple weeks before, um, we didn't get much of a response, and like of people who
Yeah.
were coming. And so I was a little bit surprised. I was like, okay, so it's not, our athletes aren't going. You know what I mean? Like, our athletes aren't going to be there. So trying to figure out like who's going. And so that's why that was part of the reason for like going live. It's like, let's find out, like the algorithm can push things, and like who's going to end up seeing this, who's going to end up commenting on things when we start posting about Home Gym Con. And that's when I started to kind of figure it out a little bit more. So I'd say I have unpacked it more. I haven't fully arrived at the full location of I think it's because I think it's a very wide ranging audience. But
Mhm.
that was a big reason we wanted to go live. We just kind of wanted to figure out more about the attendees, who was there, who's going to be watching, those kind of things.
Um, what's up, Kurt? Actually, this is kind of cool. Yeah, Mario was on in the last segment. So you just had to hit the rewind. But before you rewind, I want to get your feedback, because Kurt is a strongman competitor. He's actually also, he's actually EOD for the Air Force. He just recently retired. So, and so he was running a strongman competition during most of it. I would say that Kurt's audience, um, Kurt represents one facet, and that's people who compete, who go to Home Gym Con because that's an opportunity to compete
Mhm.
in the strongman competition. Then you got people who are kind of like, I think you mentioned this on your podcast. They're trying to set up a home gym, but they're like from my generation of, I'm not buying something online that's that expensive if I haven't actually touched it.
Right.
I really don't understand people who can buy something that costs as much as a car and they just read specs and say, oh yeah, cool, let's drop the money and bring it on over to the house. It's cool. I don't get that. I can't emotionally spend that much money on something if I haven't touched it myself, right? And I don't care what other people tell me about how great it is. I've got to touch it myself. So you have that group. And then I think that there are people who go just because, like, they go like I used to go to auto shows. I just want to see what's there. It's like, oh, that's cool. And then the fourth group is the family reunion group. We went there in the first year when we had more brands than we had people. But we didn't care because we were there to see each other. We had never met in person. And then it became, now it's like a family reunion every year. Every year we're going to see each other. So all of those different groups, I think, saw your Instagram post. And I saw there were some, I don't know if there necessarily were a bunch of reactions to the post, but I was getting comments in different groups that I'm part of where they were like, okay, so this guy wants us to just basically buy Rogue and buy his programming and that, but don't spend money on these other brands that we like. That's the impression. And that's why I said, okay, I need to get Jerred on here because I want you to be able to unpack that a little bit. Now that, have you seen, let's just start with this. Have you seen a bunch of reactions from people who are outside your normal audience to your Instagram post?
Yeah, I'd say that a lot of people reached out. And again, I was giving good news, bad news, and everyone focused on the bad news, right? I had 3 good things to say and 3 bad things to say, and bad things through my own perspective of it just becoming like a commercialized gym. But as far as like, should you buy from Rogue? My only point was Rogue kind of set the standard and people chased it. And I meant that as like as a compliment to people. Like because what I ultimately was saying is like, it's hard to buy bad gym equipment now. Like when I was walking through HomeGymCon, like I was like, all this stuff is really solid. Like I don't see anything that's like looks like it's gonna break. Like there are plenty of things that you could buy off of Amazon. I'm sure that like don't have a strong founder behind it that come out of China and like whatever. Like I'm sure there's a lot of crappy stuff, but I'm saying from the home gym perspective, HomeGymCon perspective, when I was walking around, I didn't see any like cheap, flimsy, crappy stuff. Like it all looked pretty solid. And so that was my point. And maybe using Rogue was the offender because they're such a big player in the space. But I meant it more of a compliment to people because I think Rogue stuff is so quality and everyone's chased that quality that I think that they set that standard early on and everyone else is like, oh, we need to build high quality stuff. And they have. And so now people are matching that quality. So I didn't mean it in a way of like, yeah, you should only buy Rogue. I'm like, hey, everyone's got really high quality stuff now. It's like, it's getting hard to pick, so that was more of my statement. And then as far as like, go follow my programming, I mean, I think that you should. I think a lot of people should. Everyone, no, like if you're a strict power lifter, if you're a strict strongman, whatever, probably not a good fit. But if you're into like strength and conditioning or hybrid athlete, concurrent training stuff, then yeah, we're a great fit for those kind of athletes.
So, also, because again, that's why it was important for me to start where we started, where you said, hey, I don't really follow the equipment side of things, right? For people who do, they have connotations with Rogue. First of all, Rogue has had some, I would say, less than ideal interactions with smaller brands where they've done, there's been like legal action on both sides. Rogue pursuing legal action, smaller brands pursuing legal action. There have been a number of volatile events that have happened where Rogue has flat out taken someone's idea. There've been it's been, yeah. So that's what triggered people when you said Rogue, right? They're like, oh, so you want me to just abandon my friend? Because that's how people feel. It's like you literally know this person. You may have met him at HomeGymCon or whatever. They customize some piece of equipment for you. You want me to abandon my friend and spend more money on this company because, and buy your programming. Okay, so that's not the case, but that's why we started where we started. So you could unpack that you don't pay attention to the equipment side of things. You just, if you see an event happening and you try to step in to be the hero and then you end up being chased by somebody with a pistol, and you're trying to hop a fence, Yeah, I researched. You want to make sure you don't die, right? There's that. But then, as far as what you said about it's hard to buy good equipment,
Hard to
that's
buy
one of the
bad
reasons,
equipment.
because you're like, well, who
Yeah.
comes here? I'm sorry, it's hard to buy bad equipment. Sorry.
Yeah.
That kind of answers the point. So you said at Home Gym Con, there's not a lot of bad equipment, right? There have been brands who tried to go to Home Gym Con who were like the Amazon brand. Their stuff wasn't up to par. No one paid them any attention. Nobody wanted to go to their booth, and they don't come back, right? Because I have had stuff sent to me, and other people have too. I literally, quick story. So I'm assembling this product so that we get a review of it. And I'm using a hand sock. I mean, I'm fairly strong, but I shouldn't be this strong. I'm using a hand socket and ratchet, and the metal dimpled because I tightened it down. I tightened the bolt down, the metal dimpled. Now, how you think I feel when I'm ready to bench press on this thing, or bench press?
Right.
If this fails, that's my teeth, right?
Yeah.
There's a shout out to Gluck, to Winnie and Adrian. There's a video they did where they got this piece of a power rack, and the rack said it had this tolerance. So they loaded the rack with what it was supposed to be rated to hold, and they dropped a bar. The entire power rack folded.
I think I've
The
seen that
whole
video.
thing
Yeah.
literally folded. Yeah. So one reason for Home Gym Con is because now you can't hide. So it's just so people who don't know anything else can show up at Home Gym Con, and it's kind of the point. If you come here, just about anything you get from here is at least safe, which we can't say if you only look online. So that to me is one of the huge selling points for why people go and why people should go. Hey, what's going on, Kinsey? Kinsey's another person who's I don't know if she's following your footsteps. She's a physique competitor and she's a coach out in Utah. So I love having you guys on here. And actually, Ashley, if you're still watching, I want to get your feedback as well on the training thing. Ashley is a former airborne ranger, and you guys might know each other from Instagram. Ashley the Amazing, but she's also a coach as well. So I want to hear from the people who are coaches, kind of like answering, kind of like chiming in with this too. So now that we've gotten past all that, talk to me about what you saw as beneficial about Home Gym Con, like some of the things that encouraged you, because you said, hey, this is great. And you named several things, because when I listened to your podcast, you named several things. So I want to give you a chance to kind of unpack the things that you thought were good things, because I don't want to just be negative all for the next 30 minutes.
And I think you mentioned it kind of early on, is like everything is through our lens, our perspective, our opinion, right? So knowing that I have no intention of building a commercial gym in my house, or my athletes doing the same, they're just not typically doing that. It's like, okay, if I kind of, no, I'm not as interested in those things, what did I think was really interesting and cool about Home Gym Con? And I think most of the stuff I saw were anything that was like multi-use, collapsible, like reusable, like those kind of things. Like obviously, I think, Freak Athlete has become pretty big. They're really looking at kind of owning that space of like having the Swiss Army knife type of equipment. There are a lot of people who are like doing rack attachments that don't just do one thing. That's typically the thing I hate. Like I own a reverse hyper. I've owned it for 10 years, like a massive standard reverse hyper, not one of these like smaller ones. And I love and I hate it because it does one thing pretty much, and it takes up a ton of space in my gym. And so I don't like things that only do one thing. And so to see these equipment manufacturers are coming out with things that like attach to the racking, and it could be a pec deck fly and like, bicep curl and like all these other kind of things. Those are the innovative things from my perspective that I think are really cool. It's like, okay, this doesn't do one thing. It does 7 things or 5 things. That to me goes much further in a garage gym than having, some like a massive like thing that only does one thing, like my reverse hyper or those kind of machines. So that was probably the coolest thing I saw on the innovation side. And then also like the flywheel technology and like electronic resistance. I thought that stuff was really cool as someone who's, struggled with back injuries over the years. I love things like the belt squats, and like I that electronic digital resistance, and also the flywheel stuff, like, goes a long way when training youth or even training yourself if you're working through an injury. So there are a lot of really cool things happening in the home gym industry for sure.
So one of these, this is like nice little segue. First of all, shout out to Paired and Powered Up. What's going on, Pairing? Uh, they have a really awesome. So they just now have a garage gym. Their entire gym was set up in their living room. So they have a thing called the Swole Sofa, but the living is literally, if you look in their YouTube channel, that's their living room, right? So I just thought it was really, really cool. I actually met them at HomeGymCon at our reunion show, which is a morning thing. And I'm gonna say this too, man. Let me just do a little side note before I move on. Is I need to do a better job because I should have invited you to our show, our reunion show. It's first thing in the morning before HomeGymCon, and you kind of just come in and you just hang out, and we all just, so people could kind of get a chance to meet you, because I'm noticing a common pattern in your responses. And I think that's one of the, I don't know if this is one of the experiences you were able to have. Um, Shout out to, speaking of innovative equipment, it's Kodo Gi Grips, my guy David. Did you get a chance to see his booth? Or was
Um,
it like a blur? There's just so much stuff. So
I
he's
do
got like
remember
the
a
gi
grip company.
material.
Yeah.
So it's gi material, so it's blue, right? So it's like a jujitsu gi or a
Okay.
judo
Yeah.
gi,
Yeah.
technically. Yeah, but it's using that for tricep work and pull downs and things like that. So it's
Okay.
challenging your grip at the
That
same
makes sense.
time. I'll say it like this: I'll send you one. All right, I'll buy you one and send it to you, because if you've never used it, and I assume you haven't, you're gonna see it like you might. Oh, you start seeing applications, right? Because gi material is really hard to break. And when I was doing a jujitsu, we would use the gi to do pull-ups. Same idea as like
Right.
towel pull-ups, but
Right.
it's a tougher material. Yeah, it's anyway. Yeah, it's gonna be life changing for you. I look forward to seeing your face in the video you posted using it. Um, but one thing that I noticed, I said there's a pattern. Um, when I said, what did you like about Home Gym Con? The one thing I noticed that you haven't said is interactions with people, because I think that that is the number one thing that HomeGymCon has value for. Is I met this dude, we talked about this random thing for an hour. You know what? Now we're friends. I can't wait to see him again next year. That you hear that story repeated over and over again, because a lot of us, and I think some of it is because the people who are part of your community already get that because of interactions they have with you and with each other. But a lot of people in the broader HomeGymCon audience don't have that. The only people we get to talk to really are each other. You start trying to talk to your, I don't know, your Thanksgiving dinner. Hey, so what's going on with you? Oh man, I hit a PR this morning, and because I, gotta earn those Thanksgiving calories, right? And they look at you, and their eyes glaze over. So we can only talk to each other about this stuff. Did you have any? I know you said you spoke with Peter Keller. Shout out to PK. Did you like get a chance to just talk to like human beings? Like, hey, what's going on? How do you like, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
not
dude.
just,
We
I'm not talking.
we we were walked around a ton, and so yeah, I think I've predominantly been more focused on like the equipment side of things in my responses, but yeah, I talked to like Peter and I. We've known each other forever. Same with like Coop. We go way back. Just being in the garage gym space for such a long time. Like I talked to all those guys, met a lot of new people, and had a lot of great conversations with equipment manufacturers. I think there are a lot of cool, some people doing some cool things like just out of their garage, one man shops. So I think there's a lot of awesome stuff going on. And yeah, I had a lot of great interactions with these new exhibitors and stuff, people I had never met before. And then also reconnecting with some people who've been in the garage gym space for a long time. And I always love talking to Peter because he's been in the game such a long time, and he's got a really great business mind. And so that's where I really connect with him on like, and I think he helped me understand too, like some of the, hey, I know where you came from on the garage
Yeah.
gym world, but like, let me tell you where we're at now.
You
And
feel
so
like an alien right now.
that was awesome. That was what was awesome about my conversation with Peter Keller.
So when you just said that, you remember Planet of the Apes, when the astronaut goes into space, but he comes back down and Earth has been like taken over by apes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what happened to you at Home Gym Con. You're like, when I entered the garage gym space, it was one thing. Now I'm here, like, whoa, what happened to my planet? Yeah. Um, you said that Peter helped you understand a little bit about, uh, why it's the way it is. What about his conversation shaped, I guess, maybe how you saw the brand, like what challenges the brands face? Because they're all competing with each other for your attention.
Mhm.
Did anything that he say help you see, oh, well, this is why it's a little bit like this or whatever? Or did y'all even talk about that?
Yeah, I think he just told me kind of how the market has shifted and what people are interested in, um, and how it has. I think I guess the best way to put it is home gyms are just becoming more accessible to more people, which is a good thing, you know. And so I think I think the market has spread out from niche athletes, which is all garage gyms were back in the day. It's like you were into one of these niche shoot offs. You were either into
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
powerlifting, strongman, CrossFit, like hybrid athlete training. Like it was super niche. Like you were a serious athlete, to
Yeah,
have your own home gym, whatever, 10 years ago. And now it's more
yeah,
like economies of scale, like everything. It's like everyone's interested in having a home gym. Either they want the super sexy, yeah, like I mentioned, $50,000 garage gym that looks awesome, or they're just getting into it. They want that multifunctional piece of equipment that goes in there just so they don't have to go to the gym anymore. And I get it. I haven't been to the gym in
yeah,
whatever 15 years, work out at home. And so I think him helping me realize like this isn't a niche thing anymore. The
yeah.
world is here, the market is here. Like everybody who just wants to do a bicep curl and go for a walk to run a 5-minute mile, these are the people who are garage gym athletes now.
So let me do a couple more comments. So this actually is my brother, and he's a strongman competitor. He said, I agree, equipment with multiple uses is a game changer, as a space saver. I I agree with that. However, the exception to that rule for me is I also love it when something does one thing, but it does it better than anybody else. Now you're like, this one thing, it only does one thing, but that one thing it does has so many cascading benefits for me. I don't care. So like the glute ham raise, right? It does so
Yeah.
many beneficial things. I'm like, yeah, you need one. Yeah, it only does one thing, but the effect on your life, your training, whatever, is so huge. It's worth it. Dedicate the space. You got a toilet in your house. It only does one thing, right? But you still need it. Okay, it's the exact same idea. Um, but in general, because of how space is, and we have a 1-car garage that we have a 2-car garage, but one side of it is what we dedicate for the gym. So space is always at a premium for us, and I'm always like, well, not just. So this is my problem with some of the rack attachments. Yeah, they do multiple things, but if I'm not actively storing it on the rack at the time, where am I going to put it?
Mm-hmm.
What I mean? So that's like the thing that I think of. So like the rack attached leg extension, for example. Well, if my wife is, so let's say my wife wants to use it for leg extensions, and I need a bench press, or I need a squat. Is that going to be in the way? Well, if it is, we take it down where we're going to put it. So that's the only side of the puzzle that kind of is in there for me. Parents said single-use row machines were all over HomeGymCon this year, and I got excited about one, but the reality of a small space reminded me as soon as I was home. So yeah, that goes back to the concept thing. It's like you see a lot of cool stuff there, but really, are you going to take it home? Because you don't have space. Like we're turning stuff down all the time. Like, I can't. I got nowhere to put it. Um, and then she also goes on to say, our number one goal of HomeGymCon is the people, the relationships, and losing my voice means I was successful. I 1000% agree with that. I had lost my voice by Saturday because I judged a bench or body weight. I didn't judge it, but I ran a bench or body weight contest at the Bells of Steel booth. That was one of the highlights of Home Gym Con for me. Just getting people in there, say, hey, right now, let me show me what you got. All right, do you bench your body weight? How many times can you do it? And I love stuff like that, because I've always loved things like that. Like let's get people in, give you a chance to not just be a spectator to life, but to collect an experience. You can say, "Oh, I did this cool thing," and you went home with it because now your vacation is meaningful, right? I can sit at home and watch things. You know what
Right.
I mean? Now, I do have a. It's not really a rant, and I talked with Jake about this a little bit, and I want to get your feedback on it. because I started in the home gym space back when I was an athlete competing in powerlifting. And you're right. You were training at home because you couldn't compete, you couldn't train for this thing you wanted to do, especially if it was strongman. Good luck on getting the local Planet Fitness or did they exist back then? Your local Lifetime Fitness to let you bring all your strongman equipment in there so you could do stone over the bar or whatever, right? So people started setting up stuff at home. Shout out to Brooks Cubic. He had all this dinosaur training, started to become popular. You're not going to take rocks into your local Gold's Gym, right? So that's why we started. I would love to see, and I told Jake this, I'd love to see HomeGymCon become more of a resource for people who are still trying to compete in things, not just giving opportunities to compete, like the strongman competition, the powerlifting meet and stuff, but also resources. I don't know if your athletes really deal with this, but if you compete in powerlifting, you need a singlet. And if you've never tried to find a singlet for powerlifting, if you're doing it for the first time, you don't understand how tough it is to find a singlet for powerlifting, not a wrestling singlet. And even those are hard to find because they're typically made by these little manufacturers. They make them in bulk for the school, for the year, sublimated, all this other stuff, right? But if you just say, hey, I'm going to be doing powerlifting, I need a singlet. Where do I find one? How do I know what size to get? Let me, what does it look like when I put it on? Is it squat proof? All these different things, right? You can only do that if you're somewhere that sells singlets. I'd love to see HomeGymCon be a place that has that because I've been to a lot of meets where you're like, well, I'll just buy one at the meet, and they don't have it there because they expect you to show up with all your stuff.
Right.
So I'd love to see HomeGymCon do more of that. Shout out to BeltFed Strength. I want to say Pioneer Fit because they had belts, because that's another thing. Like, you have powerlifting belts have specific regulations that, for the width of the belt, the thickness, the material. Look, have the stuff there. And same thing about weightlifting. Have stuff at this event they're all going to be at so that it makes it easier for me to pursue the sport that I train for in my garage or my basement. You know what I'm saying? I think there were two shoe companies. There's Barefoot Shoes, and then I want to say there's Lu Xiaojun. I think that's how you say it. They had weightlifting shoes there, and then Barefoot Shoes obviously had what they have. But I didn't really see a bunch of stuff for like, what if I do CrossFit and I need a CrossFit shoe, a cross training shoe? Sorry, what if I do that? Or if I do high rocks? I'd like to see a little bit more of that. I didn't get to see everything. So did you see products like that? Like you could say, oh, you know what? My athletes would have, if my athletes had come here, they could have found us this thing. Maybe it's not equipment, but maybe it's gear. Did you see anything like that as you're walking around?
I didn't see a ton of gear. I did see, and I don't remember the brand name, maybe you named it, but they were doing like custom weightlifting belts. I thought that was really cool.
BeltFed Strength.
Yeah. So I think I saw that. But no, I didn't see a ton of that kind of gear. It's all primarily equipment. I'm trying to think if, my athletes showing up and going to HomeGymCon, I do think that kind of stuff would be cool. Gear that you could try on, use. Like some people might not even understand what a singlet does or how it operates, or a lot of people don't know how to use a weightlifting belt correctly. So giving, a quick instructional on how to do those kind of things. I do think that those things would be cool as well. Because the exhibitor next to us, I can forget their name. Like they were doing like athlete education, which I thought was really cool. They had like a little stage that they set up, and like he would get on probably every hour and a half or something like that, and start to talk about his method on kettlebell training and maces and all of those kind of things. And I was like, yeah, that's really, Wildman. Yeah, Wildman. Yep, that's it. So I was like, that's really cool. In all honesty, maybe there should be more of that going around. I love the educational piece. So to tack on to what you're saying is like, I'd love to see gear. I'd also love to see an educational piece like what he was doing. Because I think, in all honesty, he was probably the only one doing it that I noticed, at least, or maybe he just had the biggest platform. But I thought that was really awesome, talking to people about training methodology and, how to utilize the equipment after you get it. Right. I think that's all really important.
Yeah, I had mentioned, and so Jake, you know, in fairness to Jake, he said, I've seen him because we go to multiple things like this. I've seen him at those events trying to convince manufacturers like we're talking about to come to Home Gym Con. But some of it is the perception that, oh, it's just people looking for equipment. And so I think it's incumbent on us who attend Home Gym Con. If you're a fan of a brand, ask them, hey, are you going to be at Home Gym Con? Go to Home Gym Con. Can I try your stuff at Home Gym Con? Because that would help. The other thing is, I even thought about it. I see your comment, Sean. I'm going to pull it up in a second. Um, the other thing I thought is this is a fantastic opportunity for someone in Letha, not so much Ashley, because she's actually a doctoral candidate right now, so she's getting plenty of education. But Letha, or anyone else who's a home-based coach, to get CEUs.
Mm-hmm.
We're all
Yep.
going to be here. Why not bring your educational thing to this event? They're all going to be at it. And now you can get CEUs for attending this workshop or whatever. But again, that requires buy-in from the organization. And Jake said he has reached out to a couple of them. It's just a matter of their members saying, yeah, we want to do this thing. So Sean said, he's referring to what I was saying about the belts. So Pioneer was in the back. I want to give a shout out. He said he got a new belt and some custom wrist wraps. I also want to give a shout out to Arm Assassin Strength Shop because I think they had Strongman. They had the grip shirts, and I want to say they had the stone sleeves for so you don't tear. You don't have to like put duct tape your arms to avoid ripping up your
Mm-hmm.
skin when you're doing the stone. So shout out to them. But I'll say another one, and this is from, oh, sweet. Yeah, Kinsey said, I'm going to see if I can get Otishi's shoes to come. That exactly. Thank you. More of that. Um, so my wife does triathlons, and her eyes lit. So I know everybody probably knows this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Part of triathlons is cycling. Well, what people don't realize is that you have specific shoes for cycling. Well, good luck on trying to find any of those shoes just in your random place, right? And so her eyes lit up. We were at HFA. They had a booth there that had nothing but those clip-ins, like the SPDs, so that she could try out which ones she wanted. That kind of stuff would be cool. Um, Getting a tri-suit shaves time off of your race time, right? So
Getting a bike
before
fit,
shout out to
like,
them.
yeah, like having
Yeah,
like a,
getting your
someone
bike
who
fit.
knows what they're doing fit you on your bike. Those kind of things. All those things are important if you're getting into that stuff.
Like, so the tri-suit, you got to try it on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we happen to have a place that's near us, and so we were able to go to it. And shout out to End of Three, I mean, all three sports. I was like End of Three Sports, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
combining your name with theirs. All three, shout out to all three sports. But what if you don't have one of those there and you want to try out triathlons for the first time? I've seen wardrobe malfunctions at triathlons because people are just wearing whatever they want to, whatever they have when they make this product is just inaccessible. So I would love to see Home Gym Con have more stuff like that because, as you said, we're broadening the kind of athlete who's in the home gym space now. I think that would be valuable. Um, let's see here, and then of course I mentioned the martial arts thing. I literally just sold a heavy bag to a dude the other day, and he was like fascinated because he had no idea that you could mount a suspension arm to a power rack to hang your heavy bag on because he's always just seen them like hanging from the wall or not the wall, the ceiling, right? More like that, more stuff like that. I think would be really, really cool.
And I think your point
Talk to me
on,
about,
well, one thing real quick,
yeah.
you mentioned like, I personally would love to see more of that, the coaches and the coaching education show up because I think you get more athletes and it would drive more innovation when you're getting in a big diverse group of people because we run an event twice per year where we have performance-based physical therapists show up who are also strength and conditioning coaches. And a big driver is they can get CEUs to come, like, and if you were to able to do that with the NSCA or something like that for Home Gym Con, the people could get CEUs for coming, listen to a talk on programming or something like that. Like I would love to add a little bit. Like, I don't know if that's what Jake wants, to be honest. Like, maybe that's a bad idea. I shouldn't.
Said
And
he's
that's,
reached out to brand. I mean,
yeah,
he's reached out to what I call it organizations,
yeah,
but we need to push it because they don't see it. What you just explained, they don't see that yet.
yeah. Because I mean, you don't need to have the NSCA there, but you can have a certified strength coach give a talk in which someone could get qualified for CEUs. I know exactly how all that process works. I would love for that to be a piece, even if it just like gets started, because like, cool, let's over the next 10 years, let's build that out. I think that would be awesome. So I do think that that's a huge opportunity.
What you also don't see is you see this at the Arnold quite a bit is seminars. So like I remember Ed Cohen for years was doing powerlifting seminars. I think Jen Thompson has done them at the Arnold, right? I would love to see stuff like that. Maybe it's in the evening or it's like a little side thing, but you don't get to see a lot of that. And I think that's where, um, I said bad stuff about Rogue earlier. Now I'm going to say a positive thing. Rogue sponsors a lot of stuff like that. I would love to see Rogue say, hey, you're my athlete. I want you to be at this event. We're going to be showing our equipment. Tonight, if you guys come back, we're going to have at 6 p.m. We're going to have our athlete do a squat demonstration or a squat seminar. You guys come back for that. You know what I mean? I think that kind of stuff has potential to just add value to what's essentially a family reunion with cool stuff to look at, if that makes sense. Um, here we go. And Mario said, I totally agree. Said it would drive traffic to the show. He said it's normal in the other kind of show circuits. Like,
Right.
why wouldn't you? Like, it just seemed like I suggested it a couple years ago, and Jake has tried to do it. But if you're willing to like be part of trying to help to set that up, I'm sure he wouldn't turn you down. And that's actually, because I'm a professional, an excellent segue into talking about the other things that you do to support entrepreneurs and things like that. So we got a few more minutes with you. So go ahead and let people know like about what I think are some really cool things that you do to help entrepreneurs who are trying to get from where they are in the fitness space to where you are if they're trying to scale their businesses.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. So there's really two places. The first is Garage Gym Athlete. I've been running that for well over a decade. So garagegymathlete.com. We have, thousands of athletes who train with us and have over the years. And in years previous, we've utilized other apps like Team Builder, Train Heroic, those kind of things to put in our programming. But we now have our own app, and it's launching in all the app stores here within the next couple of weeks. And so we're really excited about that, just really leveling up our game, bringing technology to the garage gym space, garage gym athletes with programming. And that's honestly what we're obsessed with is our method and the mindset is just like the method behind what we do, our programming. We've been developing it for years and years, and the mindset being daily over decades, just putting in the work each and every single day. And then also, I have run end-of-3fitness.com for a long time. That's where I originally got started. And that's kind of turning into trying to future-proof the coach profession, And so the coaching profession can easily lag behind, in all honesty. It's like they don't pick up tech as quickly, and a lot of it just has to do with the coaching profession in general, how incredibly busy coaches are, like if they're on the floor training a lot or like responding to athletes. So anyway, helping them increase their knowledge through different programming methods, implementing how to implement AI these days, and like all this other stuff. So those are my two big passion projects, things that I work on, helping garage gym athletes train with phenomenal programming at home, and then also future proofing the coach profession with, education on growing their business, being entrepreneurs, those kind of things.
Tell me about because you have another thing. Is it Better Human?
Yeah, Better Human Business is kind of is what
that's one that really speaks to me because you're just like reclaiming your time while you're building the thing.
Yeah, so that is kind of the umbrella to everything I do is and kind of what we call it is Better Human Business, because I own more than one company. But every company that I own or that I'm a part of is helping other humans get better in some capacity. And if it doesn't check that box, then I don't do it, right? And so if that's why I'm super into fitness. When we do business consulting for people, I mentioned we work with a lot of performance based physical therapists, and that reason being is because I really believe in the mission of physical therapy and like what they do. And so you can go to better.biz, might be the better URL to show there.
Better.biz?
Yeah,
Sure.
better.biz.
Okay.
Because we have that kind of as a placeholder there as well. But so anyway, that is kind of the overarching thing that we do, is helping
That's eye
people.
catching right there. We help you build a business that pays you to stay out of it.
Exactly. And
Say
so,
nicely. Talk to me nice. Let's go, Jared.
yeah, so that's where we are now, because I've been doing online business for such a long time. And so now I'm just trying to help other people do the same, who are trying to get out of the day-to-day grind, who want to learn how to scale, who need business systems and operations, those kind of things. Because like I said, in the coaching world, those things are lacking hard. And so trying to help people up their game on the business side is kind of a big part of what I've been doing over the last couple of years as well.
The thing that so my brother said is he's a good looking app, man. You've covered everything from what I can see from a glance. Um and I say, man, so I think the thing that stood out to me was when you were talking about, this is from your LinkedIn profile, right? Where you were saying you've built these very successful, we're talking about like $1 million success, right? And you said, and I still not miss dinner with my family. I still spend time with them, right? And I think that what's happened is, and I mean, I have this grind where it's like I say I have to like make conscious choices. Okay, how do I? It's almost like how do I fit my family around this business I'm building for them, and still get the business to build, and still not, end up single, and your kids don't know your name. You know, so I love the fact that you're like, hey, look, it's not about me trying to get rich off of you. It's me trying to help you kind of enjoy, instead of your grandkids enjoying this, I want you to enjoy it too. They'll enjoy it, but I want you to enjoy it too. You know what I mean? And so that's really one of the reasons why it kind of like what I said about Mario. I wanted people to see your heart, not just an Instagram post. And that's why I wanted you on here. And that's really what the point of this show is. I want people to see the face behind the social media post, behind the whatever the brand said or the company did or the person did. Kind of like unpack who this person is and why they make and how they actually want to help you. Because most of the people I've run into across the course of doing this are people you genuinely would love hanging out with, catching a workout with, because we don't fit in with what normal society is, or else we wouldn't have started doing this.
Right.
I have a mean little acronym I use. I thought about making a T-shirt, and Naomi, my wife, said, "No, don't do that. That's too mean." It's NARP. It's non-athletic regular person, and they try to make us feel like there's some. It's like they try to make us feel like there's something wrong with us, and I'm like, "No, there's a list of things wrong with you, and I can't help you." So it's always cool when I get to interact with somebody from my tribe, and that's definitely you. So I appreciate you being here. And actually, this is cool because Kenzie's got to go because she's got a client. So we'll just go ahead and shut it down here. Do you have anything you want to add before you go?
No, I mean, just thanks for having me. It's been awesome to see your growth over the years, and everything that you've added to the garage gym and home gym community. Really amazing. So man, just keep doing what you're doing. It's fun to watch you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so that was my guy, Jared Moon. If you guys aren't following him, you should be. You need to go ahead, check him out. I will have all of his links in the description for this video. If you're watching on replay, you have a question for Jared that we didn't answer, please put it in the comment section and he'll swing back through and check out the comment section and answer those questions directly. Who said I need to make the shirt, the NARP? Yeah, it was like NARP, but with a circle, like a slash through it, like anti-narp. You know what I mean? Yeah. Naomi said the shirt was mean. Real quick, let me tell you guys what I learned this week. it was there's a I learned the value that you guys bring. I already knew it, but it's more like, hey, I didn't think about this value. Okay. So I was teasing Trevor when he was talking about, the team floppy bacon and they want more colors and whatnot for the on the store. But I actually do, in all seriousness, do value that perspective because when you're trying to build stuff and everything is you're building it yourself, they're blind spots. So I'll tell you guys a funny story, or I think it's not even funny, it's actually funny, haha. So we built the let's go ahead and I'll pull it up real quick. um so we built the store, and yeah, hang on, I'm trying to pull it up right here. All right. So we built the store, right? And I thought, oh man, this is gonna be fantastic. We're gonna kill them with this. They're gonna love it. Everything's awesome, right? So this is the store. And I think we got apparel, right? Well, Ashley went to go make a purchase. And you guys see how when I click on this, it's separating the men's apparel and women's apparel. Well, guess what I forgot to do when I first made the store? That's right. I forgot to divide it in terms of the drop down menu into men and women. So when she went in there, all she saw was the first, I don't know why, but it just populated with all the men's sizes for everything first. Okay, maybe it's because alphabetically men, the word men comes before women. I don't know, whatever. I told you I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just swinging for the fences with blindfolded, right? But because she went on there, she found something that needed to be fixed. And it would never have occurred to me had she not gone on there and said, hey, I'm trying to find this. I got a question. And so now it's fixed. So when you go on there now, you can see it's divided into men's apparel and women's apparel, like it should have been in the first place. And because Trevor just said that, he's like, okay, well, Team Crispy Bacon has all these different colors right here. And in fact, we scroll down here to the right there. Look at this guy right there, Sean, wearing his Team Crispy Bacon green shirt. However, if you go to Team Floppy Bacon, and this is just an oversight, if you go to Team Floppy Bacon, that's bold enough to fold, that's right, one color. Why? Because I wasn't thinking about it. So it was very valuable to me. Heck, I don't wear tank tops, so I didn't have any tank tops until Winston Inca Strong was like, hey man, I'd like a tank top. How come you don't have tank tops? I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. So now we got tank tops, right? So I say all that to say thank you for what you guys do to show me my blind spots, because it's really easy to only see the world from your point of view, which I don't think makes you as effective as we need to be if we're going to be in the content creator game, because we're technically making content for you guys, which means we need to see the world the way you do as much as possible, not just the way we think it should be. So I really, really appreciate that. Next week, we have got Madison and man, okay, I'm screwing up now. What's I'll tell you in just a second. Sean. We got Madison and Sean from Mythic Fitness. They're going to be on the show. We tried to get to their booth and we were not able to. So I said, hey, that's my bad. We just ran out of time. So instead, we're going to have them come on the show next week. Next Friday, they're going to come on the show. They're going to talk about their business and let you guys know about anything you want to know. So get your questions ready and meet us bright and early here next week on Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. We're going to continue to get feedback from first-time attendees to HomeGymCon. We are going to continue to monitor the hotel availability situation with the Galt House, because HomeGymCon tickets are available and the price just went up. But if you're like me, you didn't get tickets to HomeGymCon until you knew that you had somewhere to stay, because contrary to popular belief, camping out in Jerred or Trevor's driveway is not your housing solution for HomeGymCon. So we're going to keep on monitoring that, as well as everything else that we got going on. We got some really cool stuff coming. Also, not next week, day after tomorrow. So no, that's wrong too. Today's Friday. Tomorrow, Saturday. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Tomorrow, you guys will be able to watch our booth tour with Makolo. I think Makolo had the most improved booth of the entire event at HomeGymCon. They 10 times better than they were last year, and I was excited to see all the stuff that they did there. And yeah, so you guys will be able to check that out tomorrow morning. All right. Anyway, thank all of you for being here, for making this the best place to be every single Friday morning. We get your weekend started off correctly. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday to Carlos. Hope it's a good one. And shout out to Kevin, Haru, and Caden and Haku. Shout out to Jared, Lindsay, Wyatt, Theo, Wyatt, and Tanner. All right, there. I've said hi to everybody. Okay. Y'all have an outstanding day. You guys awesome. Thank you so much.